Hey, that's a thumbs up. That means we can start playing Quiz Bowl. Speaking of, are both teams ready to begin this play-in to the fourth place game? Yes, sir.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, you all set? Great. Good luck to both teams. We will begin with toss-up number 1. Aristotle defined this phenomenon's violent type as contrary to something's nature. John Philoponus rejected Aristotle's theory of this phenomenon by developing a concept that Jean Buridan reintroduced to the West. A book preceding one, titled For First Philosophy, defines this phenomenon as a reduction from potentiality to actuality. A being who does not exhibit this phenomenon but imparts it unto others is the subject of cosmological arguments and often called the first cause. The theory of impetus concerns this phenomenon, which a
Moving?
movement, yes, or motion, moving. That is correct. 10 points for Ben, and a bonus for DCC. One poem about this man describes him as a stray ghost walker with a ghostly gun. 10 points each. Name this historical figure, the subject of an epic poem by Stephen Vincent Benet. A song set to the tune of the Battle Hymn of the Republic describes how this man's soul is marching on.
John Brown.
John Brown is correct. In this author's novel, The Good Lord Bird, Henry Shackelford follows John Brown and disguises himself as the girl Little Onion to escape slavery. This author wrote The Heaven and Earth Grocery Store.
No answer.
His name's James McBride. This author praised Brown in his essay, The Last Days of John Brown. This sometime resident of Walden described being jailed for refusing to pay taxes supporting slavery in civil disobedience.
Thoreau.
Is correct for 20. Toss-up number 2. An unnamed book in this novel describes a burial on a snowy day and sparks a conversation that leads to the second request for a 1/10 payment. The business of a crystal merchant in this novel is boosted by cleaning the crystal and putting up a display case. The prologue of this novel recounts a version of the myth of Narcissus where the lake mourns because it can no longer see its beauty reflected. A quote from this novel is, "If you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you."
The Alchemist.
The Alchemist is correct for 10.
Nice.
For Pranav, and your bonus, Lambert, answer the following about drag artist Taylor Mack's 2019 performance of a 24-hour-long show themed around musical history, for 10 points each. In one section, audience members scrambled for space in a representation of this state's settlement. This state is Where the Wind Comes Sweeping Down the Plain, in a musical titled For It by Rodgers and Hammerstein.
Oklahoma.
Yes. An hour-long sketch sets parts of this Savoy opera on Mars. A little maid in this opera named Yum Yum is betrothed to a Lord High Executioner who sings about his little list.
Turandot.
It's the Mikado. Mack interspersed several Walt Whitman poems with the compositions by this artist inspired by black laborers and minstrel shows. This prolific songwriter of the early 1800s wrote Camptown Races, My Old Kentucky Home, and Oh Susanna.
Foster.
Foster's correct for 20. Also 3. Thomas Machiavelli criticized this museum for omitting dates on indigenous artwork in a primitivism exhibition organized by William Rubin. This museum's 1970 information exhibition included Hans Haacke polling visitors about its former president's support for the Vietnam War. This museum...
The Met.
No.
Sorry.
Not the Met. See right there. Whose minimalist architecture was designed by Yoshio Taniguchi, hired Frank O'Hara as a curator. This museum has analyzed the cobalt paint in one of its paintings that depicts cypress trees breaking up a swirling sky. A 1958 fire at this museum caused paintings like Christina's World to be evacuated to the Whitney Museum. For 10 points, Starry Night and The Persistence of Memory are in what New York City
MoMA.
MoMA is correct.
I forgot.
It's alright.
DCC, your bonus, a 5-month Dhamma recitation occurred during a 5th Buddhist one of these events in Burma. 10 points each. Give this term for meetings of Sangha for correcting canon. Many Christian principles were outlined in ecumenical examples of these meetings, such as in Chalcedon and Nicaea.
Councils.
Yes. The first 2 Buddhist councils appear in all 6 of these all 6 of these texts. This collection, which makes up the Tripitaka with the Sutta Pitaka and the Abhidhamma Pitaka, contains rules for the Sangha. Answer?
No answer.
It's the Vinaya Pitaka. The 6th Buddhist Council lasted 2 years from one instance of this holiday to another. This holiday commemorates the birth, nirvana, and parinirvana of Siddhartha Gautama.
That's a good question. I have no idea.
No answer.
It's called Vesak or Vesaka, and I can also accept Buddha Day. 10 of the bonus. Toss-up 4. This politician claimed that his government's fundamental task was to promote the development of productive forces. The first great debate pitted the dogmatic whateverist faction against this politician, who promoted the motto, seek truth from facts.
Jumping. Deng jumping.
Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
That's 20 points.
What is it, 20?
Your bonus mouths in these structures name the virus whose G protein was used for pioneering experiments by Jennifer Lippincott-Schwartz and James Rothman. 10 points each name these structures that form within Clathrin lattices. The direction of these structures' transport is regulated by COP2 and COP1.
Like vesicles, right? Yeah.
Vesicles.
Vesicles is correct. Vesicles perform exocytosis as the final step in this process. Hormones exit cells via this process that is contrasted with excretion.
Oh,
Intake, maybe?
try intake, yeah.
Intake?
That's secretion.
Bro.
COP2 and COP1 are named for composing these vesicle-associated structures that can also consist of Clathrin triskalia. Viral capsid proteins are alternatively named in analogy to these structures.
RNA, bro.
RNA.
Coats, vesicle coats, or coat proteins.
That's fine.
10 on the bonus, after a 20 on the Deng Xiaoping toss-up. Toss-up 5. One of these objects provides the weight in Gauss-Jacobi quadrature. Sergei Bernstein names a type of these objects that are used to construct a more general class of objects around control points. Before it was generalized by Stone, these objects were doing the approximation in the Weierstrass approximation theorem. Namesake simple nodes characterize examples of these objects named for Chebyshev, which can mitigate Runge's phenomenon. Barycentric weights define a type of these objects that were used by Lagrange for interpolation. These objects are partial sums of Taylor series. The fundamental theorem of algebra describes the roots of these expressions.
Polynomials.
Polynomials is correct for 10.
Nice.
Your bonus, Lambert. According to Strabo, in 166 BC, the Romans made Delos into a free port to wreck the trade of this island. 10 points each name this island, whose residents sold military equipment to build a structure dedicated to Helios after a failed siege. Achares of Lindos built that structure on this island.
Yeah, roads, right?
Rhodes.
Rhodes is correct. Rhodes' maritime economy was very similar to this civilization they traded with, which founded the cities of Tyre and Carthage.
Phoenicia.
Phoenicia is correct. These people founded 3 cities on Rhodes, including Lindos, which make up half of their namesake Hexapolis. Most of these people, whom Thucydides calls the ancestors of the Syracusans, settled the Peloponnese.
I don't know. Ionians?
Ghost,
Ionians?
whatever.
Ionians.
Dorians.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
shoot.
20 on the bonus. Toss up 6.
Oh, I didn't even
A poem by this author criticizes fools who roar aloud, "Subscribe, subscribe," and are 10 times worse when they repent. In that poem, this author asked, who breaks a butterfly upon a wheel? Pope is correct for 20.
Nice. Good.
Your bonus, once completed, let me actually give you those points. Once completed, the city's REM light metro system will connect its eastern suburbs to its international airport in Dorval. 10 points each name this city, whose metro connects Longueuil with McGill University. This city is the most populous in Quebec.
Montreal, yeah.
Montreal.
Montreal's correct. The brutalist architecture in Montreal metro stations partly inspired the architecture of this other city's metro system. An infill station serving this city's Gallaudet University opened in 2004.
Gallaudet. What about Vancouver?
Vancouver.
Washington, D.C.
Oh.
Although the Montreal Metro was the first to use rubber tires, the use of rubber tires in automated metros was pioneered in this city. This third busiest port in Japan is the capital of Hyogo Prefecture.
I want to say Nagasaki, low key. Try Hiroshima then.
Answer?
Hiroshima.
Kobe.
Okay. Yeah.
10 on the bonus.
Sorry.
Toss up 7. A storm god from this modern-day country is perpetually angry because his brother used his strong legs to push apart their parents, the sky and the earth. A cannibal goddess from this country was blind.
New Zealand?
New Zealand is correct for 20.
Wow.
Nice.
Good job.
Your bonus, Lambert. Well into the 1960s, most public schools sang God Save the Queen rather than this song, whose lyric, In All Thy Sons Command, was changed to In All of Us Command.
Oh, okay.
And points each to identify this national anthem that is typically sung in both English and French at sporting events.
La Marseille.
Oh, yeah. No, it's O Canada, bro.
Oh, Canada.
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, no,
God Save the King was first sung to this monarch during a performance of The Alchemist, but not that The Alchemist. This Hanoverian commanded troops at the 1743 Battle of Dettingen in the War of the Austrian Succession.
Is it George the Second or the first, bro? Second, right?
Second,
George
I
the
think.
Second?
Yes, George
Yeah,
II.
Second. Good.
Australia first replaced God Save the Queen during the government of this man, who was controversially dismissed by Governor General John Kerr in 1975.
Dude, dude, he's the only Australian Prime Minister getting
Answer?
dismissed. I don't know.
Gough Whitlam.
Oh, shoot.
I don't-
20 on the
I don't
bonus.
Oh, God, no, I know that.
Toss up 8. This element is the most common nodulizing element used to form graphite-rich cast iron. This element can be produced via a silicothermic reaction in the Bolzano process, or the more cost-effective Pigeon process.
Silicon?
No, not silicon. This non-bromine element is extracted by the Dow process and is the third most common ion in seawater. Since this element is a cofactor of Taq polymerase, this element's chloride is found in PCR master mixes. This element in calcium can be extracted from dolomite. This element is often used in flares since it gives off an intense white light when burned. The heptahydrate of this element sulfate is Epsom salt. For 10 points, name this second lightest alkaline earth metal with atomic number 12.
Magnesium.
Magnesium's correct. Your bonus.
Sorry.
In just a second. Larry E. Smith argued that English often operates as one of these languages. 10 points each. Name these languages, one of which was created by L.L. Zamenhof. These languages, many of which develop as lingua francas, are mainly used as second languages.
Learned languages.
Answer.
Artificial languages.
One more time.
Artificial languages.
No, they're auxiliary languages. Creoles, which may be used as auxiliary languages, are exemplified by this language with a portmanteau name. The Malay origin word la is often used at the end of sentences in this language with substantial Hokkien influence. Answer.
Cantonese.
It's Singlish or Singaporean English. Singlish allows for the omission of this verb, also called the copula, from sentences. This English linking verb can translate to either ser or estar in Spanish.
It's B.
B.
Yes. 10 on the bonus. Toss up 9. This man sank in the polls when the AP printed the full French menu of a dinner he had with Andrew Carnegie and Jay Gould at Delmonico's. This politician shielded his future campaign manager, Richard Cairns, from prosecution in the Star Route scandal.
Garfield.
No, not Garfield. Evidence that this man benefited from Union Pacific payoffs was unearthed in a document that ended, "Kindly burn this letter," known as the Mulligan Letter. While campaigning for this man, Samuel D. Burchard called the Democrats a party of rum, Romanism, and rebellion. This man who led the half-breeds was called the Continental Liar from the state of Maine. For 10 points, name this politician who lost to Grover Cleveland in the 1884 election.
Blaine.
Blaine is correct. Dylan for 10. DCC, your bonus, answer the following about the literary influence of Madame de Maintenon for 10 points each. She hosted one of these regular informal meetings of authors, thinkers, and artists popular in Enlightenment France, whose name comes from a French word for a living room.
Salon.
Yes. For a school she founded in Saint-Cyr, Madame de Maintenon commissioned this author to write Esther and Athalie, which includes some of this author's noted Alexandrines.
Racine.
Yes. Madame de Maintenon's upbringing on Martinique is referenced during her appearance in 20 Years After, a sequel to this novel. A spy in this novel had a fleur-de-lis branded onto her shoulder.
The Three Musketeers.
30 points. That is not the half yet. That's toss-up 9. Here's toss-up 10. This piece's third movement contains many quiet, flat 7-1 cadences played in parallel fifths by brass and two pianos. Tenors in this piece sing Eki Tavit, Tavit, Tavit to imitate retreating horses. This piece hails Venus Generosa at the end of Ave Formosissima, which segues in...
Carmina Burana.
is correct for 20.
Nice.
Carmina Burana.
Okay.
Your bonus DCC. A 2023 paper by Google Quantum AI gives a protocol for creating qubits by braiding non-abelian instances of these particles, which arise as D3Vs in a grid of plaquettes. 10 points each give these exotic particles named for having statistics with properties of both fermions and bosons that may be useful for quantum error correction. Answer?
Mesons.
These are anyons. Enyon branding induces this shared property that is central to the utility of qubits. This property manifests as spooky action at a distance in which particles
Entanglement.
convey information about each other.
Entanglement.
Yes. Anyons arise in systems with this property. The prototypical system with this geometric property is graphene.
I'd already said flat.
Answer?
Flat.
Flat.
I can prompt.
Planar.
I can prompt.
One
Hexagonal.
Need two-dimensional. So 10 on the bonus, and then at the half, I have a score of 160 for Lambert, 140 for DCC.
Fair enough.
I should have
You're okay.
MoMA thing.
Brief break here.
Better MoMA.
Yes, grabbed it.
That
Thank you.
one?
Yeah, I knew.
I all those things like sounded familiar.
Thank you.
No, I just forgot they did the survey, the meta, the MoMA.
Bro, such
I didn't.
let it be a boy.
It's okay, it's okay, it's okay.
I was pretty sure.
All right, so are both teams ready to continue?
Yes.
Good to go. Great. We will resume with toss-up 11. Good luck to both teams. The pulse of these events is examined in a book that heavily focuses on Myanmar by James C. Scott, titled In Praise of These Events. A medieval structure for monitoring these events was built under Caliph Suleiman ibn Abd al-Malik at Rhoda. Other structures for monitoring these events included flights of stairs and walls marked out in cubits. During Li Zicheng's campaign against the Ming Dynasty, one of these events destroyed Kaifeng. A season called Akhet was named for coinciding with one of these events.
A flood.
Flood is correct for 10.
Bus.
Your bonus: in this novel, a girl draws caricatures of people while her friend Rick writes thought bubbles for them. 10 points each. Name this novel in which the title AF uses PEG-9 to destroy a Cootings machine while caring for the sick, lifted girl Josie.
Clara and the Sun.
Yes, this author, the author of Clara and the Sun, wrote this novel, in which Kathy, Tommy, and Ruth are raised at Hailsham. Madame collects the art of children intended to be organ donors in this novel.
Never Let Me Go.
Yes, Clara and the Sun and Never Let Me Go are written by this British-Japanese author of The Remains of the Day.
Ishiguro.
30 points. Toss up 12. This man ordered the stoning of Akan for stealing gold and silver meant to be consecrated. God tells this man, no one will be able to stand against you all the days of your life, as he embarks on a campaign involving a mass circumcision at Gebeath
David?
No, not David. At Gebeath Haraloth, or the Hill of Foreskins. This man's namesake book claims God has only ever heeded a man when, at Gibeon, this man asked God to stop both the sun and moon. A prostitute named Rahab and her family are spared for hiding this man's spies during a battle in which his army is led by 7 priests with trumpets while marching with the Ark of the Covenant around a city. For 10 points, name the successor of Moses who conquered Canaan and won the Battle of Jericho.
Joshua.
Is correct for 10.
Good job. Call me Tom.
Your bonus DCC Trendbirth et al. 2000 introduces a global framing of this phenomenon that occurs over 6 sectors, including Australia-Asia. 10 points each. Name this phenomenon whose low-pressure trough can be denoted with parallel red lines. In this phenomenon, seasonal reversals in the temperature gradient between regions of land and adjacent oceans drive large ranges of precipitation levels.
El Nino.
It's the monsoon, or the global monsoon. The monsoon trough is a part of this region in which trade winds converge. This zone appears as a band of clouds near the equator. Answer?
No answer.
It's the ITCZ, or the Intertropical Convergence Zone, or the doldrums. Climate change-driven variability in the monsoon has disrupted India's production of this renewable energy source from dams.
Hydroelectric power.
Yes. Oop, not that one, that one. 10 on the bonus. Toss up 13. One of these companies that once worked with Fusion GPS was the subject of Executive Order 14320, which was struck down in May 2025 by Beryl Howell. A month earlier, one of these companies that has Mark Pomerantz on its payroll agreed to allocate $40 million over 4 years to fund areas of shared interest, such as preventing anti-Semitism. Paul Weiss was the first white shoe one of these companies to sign a controversial...
Law firms?
10 points.
Good buzz.
Bonus DCC. During the reign of a holder of this position, the PFLO was put down in the final years of the Dhofar War. 10 points each. Name this position held by Qaboos, who oversaw the abolition of slavery and the signing of his country's modern constitution during his 1970 to 2020 reign.
All right. President of Sudan.
The Sultan of Oman. The Dhofar War was partly sparked by the British withdrawal from Aden in this present-day neighboring country, which until 1990 was divided into north and south portions, the former governed from Sana'a.
Yemen.
Yes. As part of Oman's modernization efforts, Qaboos installed the rial as currency instead of this currency, which is used in a country whose leader at the time was targeted in Operation Blue Star.
Rupee.
Rupee.
Rupee's correct for 20.
Good job.
Damn, bro.
Toss up 14. A 1976 Peter Noel paper pioneered the evolutionary analysis of these structures. Regions surrounding these structures undergo stromogenesis, which involves the differentiation of fibroblasts into CAFs. Sustained proliferative signaling via autocrine receptors in these structures was identified by Hanahan and Weinberg as one of 6 hallmarks. Excessive VEGF in these structures facilitates sustained angiogenesis. Cells adapt to these structures' hypoxic microenvironments by fermenting glucose for energy in the Warburg effect. Impairment of P53 allows these structures to ignore signals to halt growth. Tumors is correct for 10.
Nice.
10 for Sanjay, and your bonus Lambert. After this man arrogantly discounted Poseidon's help, Poseidon struck the rock he was clinging to with either his trident or a thunderbolt. 10 points each. Name this man from Locris, who was said to be the fastest runner among the Greeks at Troy after Achilles. He incurred divine wrath after he raped Cassandra in a temple. Answer? This is Ajax the Lesser. In that story, this deity convinced Zeus to send a storm after Ajax's ships. This deity caused Ajax to stumble during a foot race at Patroclus' funeral games.
Dino?
Yes.
Nice.
Ajax saved himself from being killed by his Greek allies by clinging to one of these objects sacred to Athens, a real example of which was the Athena Parthenos.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
Olive tree, though?
Is that a statue?
Statue's correct for
Okay,
20.
good.
Good one.
Toss-up 15. During plans to rehearse this play over Zoom, Anna Lundberg and Michael Sheen discuss whether its author was a fascist in the 2020 show Staged. In this play, the heavily accented proprietor of a so-called atelier arrives shortly after a property man is told to find a pale blue envelope to place on a table.
6 characters in search of an author.
20 points.
Nice,
Told
nice,
you,
good,
told you,
good.
bro.
Excuse me.
Your bonus, Lambert, this 3/4 movement opens with the 8th note melody, C flat, down to E flat, D, up to C flat, B flat, down to D, long G flat, played sempre vivo and fortissimo, then meno vivo and piano. For 10 points each, Vladimir Stasov claimed that what movement depicts a creature clumsily running with crooked legs. This E flat minor movement follows its piece's first promenade.
Nomus. Nice.
Nomus is correct. Movements like Nomus and the Old Castle depict Victor Hartmann's artworks in this suite by Modest Mussorgsky.
Pictures at an exhibition.
Yes, Pictures at an Exhibition returns to an E-flat tonic for this last movement of the piece, which begins with a slow brass fanfare in Maurice Ravel's orchestration.
A Great Gate of Kiev.
Great Gate of Kiev is correct for 30
Nice.
points. At the 3/4 mark, I have a score of Lambert 240, Detroit Catholic Central 230. We will continue with toss-up 16. This is the westernmost of 2 regions whose dance is often performed in a 1-2-3 shuffle, like in a 9-8 dance often done to strip the willow at group events. A dance style from this region focuses on the batter to 8-count music. Dancers from this region practiced with stones in their hands to keep their arms straight while brushing their feet with crossed legs. This region's ballet up and flat down dance styles appear in Michael Flatley's show Lord of the Dance. This region's folk style of Cayley dancing includes quadrilles, reels, and jigs. Shoot.
Ireland?
Ireland is correct. 410.
Good job.
Your bonus DCC. This was the first theory to classify transition metal complexes as high spin or low spin. 10 points each. Name this theory that models the breaking of orbital degeneracy in transition metals due to the static electric field of surrounding anions. Answer?
No answer.
CFT, or crystal field theory. CFT is most commonly applied to these orbitals, whose Z-squared example is the only one without 4 lobes. Transition metals can store up to 10 electrons in these atomic orbitals.
Is that D? I think it's D. I think it's D.
D.
Yes. Ligands higher on the spectrochemical series form lower spin complexes. One of the highest ligands is this ion, equivalent to a nitrile group that complexes with iron to form Prussian blue.
CN. Cyanide.
Yes. Cyanide is correct for 20 on the bonus. Toss-up 17. In Jakob Murer's account of this conflict, pen and ink drawings illustrate a battle cry of, "We're eating goose!" In the 3 leagues of Grisons, the Haufens in this conflict secured the local election of the clergy. Monasteries were ransacked early in this conflict, while one side fought the Battle of Pavia. During this conflict, Sebastian Lotzer drafted resolutions calling for economic and religious liberty, called the 12 Articles. Participants in this conflict were called a murderous horde by a theologian who opposed a more radical...
Peasants' War.
Peasants' War is correct.
Good buzz.
German Peasants' War 10 for Nick, and your bonus DCC. This term originally referred to a fire safety device in theaters. 10 points each give this term, whose first use in a political sense may have been in Vernon Lee's 1915 book, The Ballet of Nations. This term was popularized at a speech in Fulton, Missouri in 1946.
Iron Curtain. Iron Curtain.
Yeah. Iron Curtain.
That's right. This politician gave the Iron Curtain speech at Fulton. This prime minister's other greatest hits include the We Shall Fight on the Beaches speech during World War II.
Churchill.
Yes. A sculptor from this family named Gabriella designed a monument of a literal Iron Curtain for Fertőrakos, Hungary. A much earlier member of this family adopted the motto AEIOU.
Habsburg. Habsburg.
Habsburg.
Is correct for 30.
Nice. Ball green.
Can we time out, by the way?
Yeah. Timeout from Lambert. Score at, going into question 18, DCC 300, Lambert 240.
Okay, so what was it? 18? 18. Just one more side. 2 lead. That's fine. So what else is, what's the last one? Yeah.
Place next door.
Lambert, ready to continue?
Yeah, we're ready. Yeah.
They're ready to
You're ready to
continue.
continue?
Yes.
Alrighty. Toss of 18 it is. Good luck, both teams. In George Vaillant's hierarchy, defense mechanisms associated with this trait are better than immature but worse than mature ones. The mental noise hypothesis is based on this trait's correlation with cognitive failure. Karen Horney described 10 needs associated with this trait. Adam Perkins' research into self-generated thought revived claims that this trait is positively correlated with creativity. Increases in this personality trait may indicate dementia. This trait is alternatively called negative affect and is associated with mood disorders like anxiety and depression. This Big 5 trait describes sensitivity to stress. For 10 points, name this trait associated...
Oh, neuroticism?
Neuroticism is correct.
Good job, good job.
Thank you.
10 for Pranav. Your bonus, Lambert. In a story by this author, a wounded criminal is carried into town by his father, who asks him to listen for dogs barking. 10 points each. Name this author of the story collection El Llano en Llamas, who wrote a novel about Juan Preciado seeking his father, whose name contains the Spanish word for wasteland.
Come on. Rulfo, right?
Yeah. Rulfo?
Rulfo is correct. Rulfo is an author from this country.
Mexico?
Yes, Mexico is correct. The public domain website Ciudad Seva, that hosts many of Rulfo's stories, is named for a fictional town in this region. An author born in this region wrote the cross-genre Spanglish novel Yo-Yo Boing.
What? This region? Oh, wait. Puerto Rico.
30 points.
Nice, nice.
Toss-up 19. The Lorentz gauge condition can be written as an equation featuring the term 1 over c squared times this operation applied to the scalar potential. The E field equals minus del phi minus this operation applied to the vector potential. This operation applied to charge density equals the negative divergence of current density by the continuity equation. This operation applied to the displacement field gives displacement current. This operation gives the negative curl of the E field when applied to the B field. This operation is applied to magnetic flux to calculate the EMF with Faraday's law. This operation applied to charge equals current. For 10 points, name this calculus operation.
Derivative?
I can prompt.
Time derivative?
One more time.
Time derivative?
Time derivative is correct.
Yes, good job, good job, good job. Good job.
10 for Sanjay. And your bonus, the Isaac Potts House is often named for providing this service to George Washington at Valley Forge. 10 points each. Name this service that Nathaniel Greene oversaw while leading a corps of its namesake, Masters. Providing this service for soldiers during peacetime is banned by the Third Amendment.
Quartering.
Quartering is correct. The Second Quartering Act was part of this set of laws that Thomas Gage oversaw, which also included the Port Act.
So I think it's the Intolerable Acts, right?
Yeah.
Coercive act.
Either one is fine, yes. Continental soldiers scornfully coined the phrase, "this man's quarter," after his dragoons massacred surrendering Americans at the Battle of Waxhaws. He commanded, and sometimes names, the British Legion.
I don't know. How?
It's Banastre Tarleton.
Oh, Tarleton.
Tarleton.
Sorry, my bad.
You need a better one.
20 on the bonus, so going into the last toss-up, it is Lambert 310, DCC 300. Good luck, both teams. In a story by this author, a woman notes that she can kill a calf with a sledgehammer while imagining reuniting with her daughter on Johnny Carson. Dee, who adopts the name Wangero, complains to her mother that...
Walker.
20 points.
Let's go.
Save your buzz on Alice Walker. Here is your bonus DCC. Guido Reni's homoerotic painting of St. Sebastian in this position partially inspired Oscar Wilde's pseudonym of Sebastian Melmoth. For 10 points each, name this position of figures who stand with most of their weight on one foot.
Contrapposto.
Is correct. This artist who chased an apprentice and lover to Ferrara when the latter left his studio placed David in an exaggerated contrapposto for a bronze sculpture in which he stands on the head of Goliath.
Donatello, right? Yeah. Donatello.
It is. Vasari wrote about a painter from this city who wrote many songs about his love of boys, acquired the nickname Il Sodoma. The allegory of good and bad government, and it is a fresco series depicting this city's council.
It could be like Bologna. That's like Gianbologna. Bologna.
Siena. 20 on the bonus. Final score 340 DCC, 310 Lambert. Very good game, both teams. And let's get another hand for Lambert finishing in 6th place. Congratulations. We'll be doing the final shortly.
Hello and welcome back to the Rosemont Ballroom. We've just seen the exciting conclusion of the 4th place play-in game between DCCA and Lambert A. Final score decided on the last toss-up. DCCA takes it 340 to 310. So DCCA will go on to International A next door. There's a separate live stream for that on our YouTube page. And there they will be playing Hunter A for 4th place. Lambert A, meanwhile, finishes 6th place at the Pace NSC for 2025. Still an incredible finish for these folks.
Absolutely, and that game itself was very, very incredible. I mean, that just had a lot of wild swings. Lambert just took a really early lead, got DCC caught up, soared ahead. Lambert caught back up too, and decided on the last toss. What's more? What can you like more than that?
Absolutely, and interesting that it was so close throughout too, because these are two really different teams.
Oh yeah.
On the one hand, we've got DCCA, a perennial powerhouse. They have been at the top of the scoreboard at national tournament after national tournament for years running. And they're a very solid team, a very disciplined team with deep knowledge across a broad range of topics.
And I mean, they've been like that for years too. They're just like a model of consistency.
Meanwhile, Lambert A has incredibly deep pockets of really specific knowledge. They'll come out of nowhere with a buzz, but it's more of a blitzkrieg strategy and harder to guarantee that they're definitely going to know one of those deep clues.
And it's unfortunate. I mean, they did have two negs in the first half as DCC sort of caught back up. So.
All right, we are going to cut to an interview now between pace leader Aiden Leahy and two members of last year's NSC winning team, Barrington A.
Yeah, you should. Wow, they're trying to escape you.
All right, welcome
Or
back.
make it
We're
to the game.
here at the Pace NSC. My name is Samir Sarma. I'm a student at Georgia Institute of Technology. You may think I look a little bit different than in the past rounds, but that's just because of the lighting. I'm here with these two guys that I found on the street. Who are you?
I'm Rohan. And I'm Charles. And we went to Barrington.
Oh, you went to Barrington. Okay. Have you been here before? Or are you just like, are you on the quiz bowl team? Okay, solid. But yeah, for those watching at home, Charles and Rohan here have been in the finals before, both in 2023 and 2024. So we brought them here to get some hot takes on the competition here. First off, we've got Lexington and Strake Jesuit, who have really done a fantastic job this tournament. Do you think that when it came down to it, y'all would sleep them in a one-on-one?
No,
I'm gonna be honest.
Honestly,
Going into this tournament, we were joking about we would wipe everyone.
we've been
Oh my God, we would get destroyed.
Yeah,
It's
fun.
not even funny.
Sliced and diced, you're washed. Sucks to hear. I'm watching Lambert there wearing their Halliburton jersey. Yeah, I was thinking that y'all did sort of start the trend of wearing jerseys to national tournaments. What do you think is the next big fashion trend that's going to sweep the Quiz Bowl nation?
Well, I think for one, Lambert will realize that a Tyrese Halliburton jersey should never be shown on the stage of this tournament. And it's a tough mistake to make, but these things have to happen. But I think the jerseys are catching on. I think they're becoming more prominent, and I think they're becoming more controversial, and I love to see that.
Yeah. So y'all famously wore Atlanta Hawks jerseys one year. How would you, if you took control, if y'all took control, joint ownership of the Hawks front office, what would you do? Would you trade Trae Young? What's the roster looking like? How are you getting out of 500 jail that we've been in for a long time? As a suffering Hawks fan myself.
We're gonna become a quiz bowl team. We're gonna win the Pace NSC.
Yeah. It's gonna be a big rebrand. Trey is a lit main at heart. I mean, all these heat checks are really just meant to be first line buzzes, and I think he knows that as well.
Right, absolutely. Just one last thing before we let y'all go. Do y'all have your bets? Who's taking it home? Will Lexington be the first maybe? I don't know. JV team to bring it back, or will Strake Jesuit bring it home for all of Catholicism today?
I have $100 on Lexington, so they better do it.
I gotta say Lexington looks good, but God, I hope Strake takes it for the.
Are there bets on like Polymarket or BetMGM or what? Yeah.
I have $100 on Strake.
Solid. Yeah, it's this. We've got a side bet going on here, so make sure to stay tuned, y'all. We're gonna find out which of these two fine young men are gonna win $100. Back to you, Chloe and Wang. Bing bong.
Thank you.
Now,
Polite young man.
we don't have amplification over here at our table, so I have no idea why one of those folks might be winning $100, but you do, so that's exciting to see.
I do not condone gambling of any kind.
Yes. No gambling here, except it is legal now.
I don't condone it. I wasn't allowed to bet on the Pope in the States. I'm just saying.
Fair enough.
I was
fair
rooting
enough.
for Pierre Batista Pizza Ball though, so
I'll just
I would've
personally
lost
be
money.
forever traumatized by my own semifinal at HSNCT my senior year when I very nearly said that Atlantic City was in, I think, Nevada because I was so confused on a sports gambling question. We avoided that fate.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been great.
In any event, very shortly here in the Rosemont Ballroom, we are going to have our one-game final between Strake Jesuit A and Lexington. Strake Jesuit is from Houston, Texas, and Lexington is from Lexington, Massachusetts. Now, we just saw these two teams play 2 rounds ago. It was, in effect, the first game of a disadvantaged final for Lexington, but they managed to pull out a win and stay in it for this final.
Yeah, as you may remember, Strake was undefeated at the time. Lexington gave them their first loss. Lexington earlier had taken their first loss of the tournament from Hunter, who is now playing DCC for 4th. Is that right?
That's right. Yep.
So I thought Hunter was just playing spoiler, but no, they were playing for trophy position, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been a really exciting day all across this championship bracket with all sorts of unexpected results and many of these teams crisscrossing back and forth. So just because Lexington was able to eke out a win that first time, it doesn't mean that they're necessarily going to pull ahead in this last game. It just depends. We'll have to see.
And honestly, both of these teams, most of their wins have been by overwhelming numbers. These kids are just slamming other teams. When they win by a lot.
Absolutely. Strake Jesuit, interestingly, we were talking about this, a relatively new program, not as new as, Alabama Cybertech, where the school itself was just founded. Strake's been around for a while, but I remember back in spring of 2017 going to Strake for Texas Invitational, and the team that I saw there feels like an entirely different team than the one that we're seeing here today.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right, looks like we are about ready to bring you that final game. They're starting to quiet down the crowd, get the teams seated. So good luck to both teams, and here we go to that final between Strake Jesuit A, Lexington. Winner of this game will be the NSC champion for 2025.
Oops, sorry. It's under your seat. Good.
Wait, when are we starting?
I'm not sure.
Bro, stop buzzing!
You can do whatever you decide. What's up?
Hot hands on the buzzer, bro.
Good
Oh,
question.
Ma.
Let's find
Ma.
out.
Oiga. This is from my friend.
Looks like they're done, yeah.
What?
Alright.
Strake. Jesuit there and go. Relaxing.
Hi there, everybody. Sorry for the delay here. We just wanted to come back on for a moment and let you know. What? Oh, one moment. Testing, testing.
Hello. Huh? Oh no, not the sound. Not the sound. This is so sad.
Would you guys mind cutting off of us while you figure it out? Thank you.
Great.
What? Hey, perfect. Cool. So I think it's working. Just wanted to let everyone know the reason we're delayed. They're resolving a protest in one of the other tiebreaker games happening currently, so that is why we are sitting around. So obviously question content is not revealed to the teams who will be playing future games. Thank you for your patience. We'll be here for a little while. Continue talking amongst yourselves.
Hello, everybody, and sorry for the delay here. We just wanted to come back and let you know that the reason we are holding off just a little bit before getting to that final match between Strake, Jesuit A and Lexington is that one of the other tiebreaker games in that last round has a protest pending. So the protest committee is working on resolving that to know what's going to happen next. Obviously, we don't want to get ahead and reveal any question content. So as soon as that protest is resolved, we will be back with you for that final game. Thank you for your patience.
All right. Thank you all for your patience. Can I please get Strake, Jesuit, and Lexington to the stage? We'll be able to start in just a minute or so here. Having finally gotten the protests untangled in the other rooms, we will endeavor to go as efficiently as possible. Thanks, everybody. Is Melody out of the room? Okay, yeah, perfect. We're not, yeah, it's not this second, so no worries. She's got a little time. All right, let us, in the interest of saving time, get a buzzer check while we're here. You don't have to say your names or anything. Just hit the buzzer starting over there with Jacob. Great. Thank you. Perfect. And over here.
Started with the final, just wanted to give you a quick update. The results of the protest did not matter in that 9th place play-in game based on original gameplay, and so Friend advances to compete against Innovation Academy for that 9th place finish. Meanwhile, Strake Jesuit B finishes in 13th for today, and DCCA is going to play Hunter next door for 4th place. Here in this room, it's for the whole dang thing. We bring you now the final championship game between Strake Jesuit A and Lexington.
Why?
So because you don't want to say something wrong.
This is live? Oh.
What was that? We didn't. Oh, yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. Was planning to. $90 seconds. Ooh, that's a fun timeline. All right, while we're waiting 90 seconds for the packet, this time I will have you introduce yourselves. You don't have to check your buzzers if you don't want to, since we already did that, but start over there with Jacob.
I'm Jacob.
You can hit the buzzer if it's comfortable. There we go.
Axe.
I'm Justin.
Excellent. Lexington?
I'm Alvan. Shashir. Audie.
Melody.
Excellent. Thank you all very much. Again, thank you for your patience. So close. He was typing and then he stopped typing. Hey, there we go. We have a sponsorship for this round. Round 22 is sponsored by Jeffrey Wu and QB Reader, and they both of them would like to wish best of luck to both teams in the finals. And in just a second, I will extend those wishes. Second those wishes, rather. Go. There we go. At long last. Are you ready to begin the finals, Lexington?
Yeah.
Are you ready to begin the final, Strake Jesuit?
Yeah.
Yep. Great. Good luck to both teams from all of us. Here's toss-up number 1. A painting by this artist inspired a 2022 Hugh Hayden sculpture that was included in a Met exhibition titled after this artist's Cross Currents. A man prepares for a Junkanoo festival by donning a multicolored costume in this artist's Dressing for the Carnival. This artist's painting of 4 Confederate soldiers surrender...
Homer.
One more time.
Homer.
Winslow Homer's correct for 20.
Good buzz.
Let's go.
Your bonus Strake Jesuit. Ivan Ilyich argued that industrial society's over-reliance on people in this profession causes harm through the process of iatrogenesis. For 10 points each, name this profession whose ethical standards are upheld through the Hippocratic Oath.
Doctors.
Doctor.
Yes. Illich's views disagree with those of this sociologist, whose concept of the sick role includes an obligation to visit doctors. This sociologist developed the agile paradigm in his book, The Structure of Social Action.
I don't know. Bills.
Talcott Parsons. According to Parsons, people in the sick role oxymoronically exhibit a sanctioned example of this type of behavior, which is categorized as the violation of social norms.
Like taboo. Taboo.
One more time.
Taboo.
It's deviance. 10 on the bonus. Toss-up number 2. Ernst Cassirer cited a type of this concept as the common opponent of the Enlightenment. Catholicism and Pelagianism are on alternate sides of a debate in hamartiology concerning whether Romans chapter 5 supports the existence of a form of this concept. Jansenists claim free will cannot exist due to a condition named for this concept. This concept's transmission via concupiscence as described...
Sin.
Sin is correct for 20.
Let's go. 20. Let's go for 20.
Last words of power. Your bonus: in this tone poem, second violins and violas lead a metric modulation to a section in 2/4 time depicting a farmer's wedding. 10 points each. Name this tone poem that begins in 6/8 time with the second flute playing a fragment of an E minor scale. One of its themes is based on the 17th century madrigal La Mantovana.
La Mantovana is like, it's like Smetana, right? So like what's
Answer?
Love Lost.
No, it's the Moldau.
Okay.
Or Vltava. The Moldau is part of this cycle of 6-tone poems by Bedřich Smetana depicting locations and events in modern-day Czechia.
Love Lost.
Yes. The first tone poem in Mavlast, Vyšehrad, begins with a duet in which one of these instruments plays block chords while another plays arpeggios. This instrument's 47 strings are plucked with both hands.
Harp.
Harp is correct for 20. Toss-up 3. A mother of 10 living in this city named Jean McConville disappeared in 1972. A convergence point in this city called Clonard was a frequent site of violence. In 1969, a child in this city was killed in Divis Flats by a stray bullet fired by the RUC. Short Strand is home to one of this city's many peace walls.
Dublin.
No, not Dublin. Nationalists who lived along this city's Falls Road were bitter rivals of those living on Shankill Road. A successor to the Sunningdale Agreement, named for this city, was opposed by the Democratic Unionist Party at Stormont. Violence in this capital decreased following the signing of the 1998 Good Friday Agreement. For 10 points, name this capital city ravaged by the Troubles in Northern Ireland.
Belfast.
Belfast is correct for 10.
Nice.
Your bonus: these diagrams are used to minimize the number of logic gates on hardware systems. 10 points each. Name these diagrams consisting of gray-coded truth tables that are used for manual implementation of the Quine-McCluskey algorithm. Grouping cells of these diagrams into implicants assists with Boolean minimization.
Carnot map or something like that? Carnot map?
That's exactly what they're called. The number of terms in a min-term group of a Carnot map is one of these numbers. In binary, these numbers are represented with precisely one digit set to 1.
These numbers are
So
represented by 1.
one digit set to one is binary.
Answer?
True.
They're powers of 2.
Oh.
The Carnot map representing this function is a 2x2 grid with only one 0 cell, since this Boolean function asserts true when one or both of its inputs are true.
So or.
Excellent.
Or,
No, or. Yeah, no, it is or.
Or is right.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
One or both. Also, 4. One of these enzymes called terminal transferase, or TDT, is central to the tunnel assay. Some functionality of one of these enzymes is maintained in the cleaved large Klenau fragment. These enzymes produce concatamers.
DNA polymerase.
That's 20 points.
Nice.
Your bonus, Lexington. Francis Gage's recording of this speech inaccurately rendered it in dialect and added the phrase for which it is commonly titled. 10 points each. Name this speech whose speaker declared, "I have plowed and reaped and husked and chopped and mowed, and can any man do more than that?"
Ain't I a woman?
Yes, this abolitionist speaker gave the speech, "Ain't I a woman?"
Truth.
Yes, Truth corresponded with this author of an appeal in favor of that class of Americans called Africans, who is better known for writing The Quadroons and the poem Over the River and Through the Woods.
That makes some stow. I don't know.
Go.
Harry Beecher Stowe.
Lydia Maria Child. 20 on the bonus. Toss-up 5. A professor of this language who is slowly going blind teaches it to a mute woman in a 2011 Hong Kong novel that was translated into English in 2023. A book in this language is the only possession of Laszlo de Almasi that survives a plane crash in Michael Ondaatje's The English Patient. A city drinks their dead king's blood in the title Communion Rite of Wale Soyinka's adaptation of a play in this language. The blind man's 7 C's represents an...
English.
No.
What is my
That is incorrect. Represents an author who used this language in a poem that reimagines his characters as St. Lucian fishermen. A gay romance novel inspired by a work in this language was the debut novel of Madeline Miller. For 10 points, a work in what language inspired Margaret Atwood's Penelopiad?
Greek.
Greek is correct. Your bonus, identify the following about coffee houses for 10 points each. The first coffee houses were founded in this city, from which they spread rapidly throughout the Ottoman Empire and into Europe. Europeans mistakenly thought that steel with wavy patterns originated from this city.
Damascus? Damascus.
Yes. Lloyd's of London, a company now in this industry, was founded as a coffee house. Astronomer Edmund Halley developed the first table used in the life subfield of this industry.
Sure. Insurance?
Yes.
Nice.
This philosopher claimed that coffee houses and salons were centers of rational critical debate in early modern Europe. This philosopher attacked Ernst Nolte's apologistic history of the Nazi era in the Historischer Streit. Historischer Streit.
I don't know. Spengler.
Answer?
Spengler.
Jürgen Habermas.
Oh, okay.
20 on the bonus. Yours toss up 6. The Gagara boats used to cross this body of water were replaced by Idris Aluma, according to a history by Ibn Fortu. The Duguwa dynasty established the city of Njimi near this body of water, which was governed by rulers called Mayis. Heinrich Barth publicized a history of a Kanuri-speaking empire based on this body of water, the Girgam. Usman Dan Fodio's Sokoto...
Niger.
No. Not Niger. Sokoto Caliphate conquered states near this body of water as part of his Fulani Jihad. The empires of Kanem and Bornu surrounded this body of water. Though a mega version of this body of water formed during the African humid period, climate change has reduced its surface area. For 10 points, name this lake that is the namesake of a Central African country.
Niger.
Still not Niger, it's Chad. Lake Chad.
They say Niger, bro.
I actually logged out, bro.
All right, moving on to toss of 7. This property is implied by the absence of non-trivial points from the largest invariant set via Lassalle's invariance principle. A numerical analog of this property is difficult to achieve while solving stiff ODEs. This property's ISL, asymptotic, and exponential forms are defined via a Lyapunov function. The absence of this property names a fluid phenomenon that is conamed for Rayleigh and Taylor.
Instability.
No. Not instability. Local energy minima house states with the metaform of this property. This property arises when the second derivative is positive at an equilibrium. This property is notably lacked by the inverted pendulum. For 10 points, name this property of systems that return to their resting states when perturbed.
Stability.
Stability.
Nice.
Thank you.
Absence of, yes. 10 for Max. And your bonus, Strake Jesuit. The title curate magically keeps a whiskey bottle full during a weekend of drinking with the faithless priest Angwin in this author's novel, Flood. 10 points each. Name this author, who described her Catholic school upbringing and giving up the ghost. This author fictionalized a man who states that the world is not run from the castle walls, but from counting houses.
Say something.
Mantel.
Yes.
Nice.
Hilary Mantel broke with literary tradition by her positive depiction of Thomas Cromwell in a historical trilogy starting with this novel.
I think Wolf Hall.
Yes.
Nice.
In contrast to Cromwell, Wolf Hall negatively depicted Thomas More, the author of this 1516 political allegory about an
Utopia.
ideal society.
Utopia.
Is correct. 30.
We want to
Nice.
protest in Niger. Is it still possible to protest in Niger, like the Lake Chad toss-up?
Yes.
Because
Definitely.
yeah.
Yeah, do you want to submit that? Cool. Buzzed on Sokoto.
Yeah.
Did you have any particular justification that you wanted to add?
I think it could also apply to the Niger River.
Reasonable. Okay. Any response to that protest?
Wait, what'd they say? Oh, my fault.
That the clues also applied
Oh,
to
stability.
Niger, the Niger River, I
You got
guess.
anything? No? We're chill.
If not, no worries. So
It doesn't
we
matter.
will submit that protest, and they will begin going on it as soon as they can. But for now, we will continue
Play the game.
with toss-up number 8. Visitors who kill one of these animals at the Karni Mata Temple must provide a solid gold replacement. Working in Maryland, John B. Calhoun developed the concept of behavioral sinks.
Rats.
It's 20 points.
Nice.
job.
Is that PSF?
For Max and your bonus, Strake. Description acceptable. A 2025 book by Yoni Applebaum examines declining rates of this activity in the U.S. 10 points each. Golden handcuffs of low mortgage interest rates are contributing to fewer Americans engaging in what activity central to Zillow's business model.
Zillow? Is
Oh,
it
no, wait. Yeah, it's
buying homes?
Yes, moving or buying houses or whatever. In 2021, a Victorian house near this city's iconic Painted Ladies was moved to make room for an apartment complex. Zoning reforms are part of Mayor London Breed's efforts to alleviate this city's housing crisis.
no, San Francisco.
London, I told you, bro. San Francisco.
My bad. Dude,
Lock in.
Constructing more housing is part of an agenda of this name. A 2025 book co-authored by Ezra Klein with this name demands a liberalism that builds.
What's the what's the Biden
Answer?
infrastructure? Build new America.
It's called abundance.
Time out.
Yes. Certainly. At the timeout, we'll be going into toss-up 9. Currently, the score is Lexington 70, Strake Jesuit 180.
Wait, what did you say?
I didn't say anything.
Wait, what's the score again? Sorry.
180,
70.
70, with a 40-point swing.
Toss-up.
They got the...
12 questions.
At least
Bar.
if they overdid
First two.
it, like we're gonna have a Wade Hampton situation. Like it won't be that bad.
Yeah.
At a time, we got all. Yeah.
12 is all you need to
What came out?
Next.
Sure, none of these urgent messages are for me.
That's true.
And you.
Stability.
Bro, okay,
It's in the past.
That feels so weird to toss.
Yeah, no, but it's just like it's not a toss. Just chill.
BFA's gone.
Absence of this. Yeah. It's fine.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's fine.
It's a good thing that he negged Greek because I was thinking that the whole time.
Can't hear
Wait,
anything.
Yeah, wait, I feel like,
like when I say it's
so
practice,
clear.
right? Like we're all
I
just
can't
like,
hear
okay,
myself.
like, you
Us
gotta
clear.
think of it as practice. You gotta.
I don't
Maybe
think it was
that's a
those.
good
Yeah, I
design.
don't...
It's like
I don't
Yeah,
know.
maybe they just
it's
muted
like
us.
you did shit, right?
That's also
You're
probably
totally.
good.
Just go.
Few more questions than to pass.
Well, fast is just like how it was because we did.
All right.
I knew what the piece was.
Win every single one.
Taking your seats. Lexington, you ready to continue?
Yes.
Yeah.
Strake Jesuit, ready to continue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, come on.
Resume with toss-up 9. Good luck to both teams. The first of this novel's chapter epigraphs, which reads, "Put thousands together less bad, but the cage less gay," is wrongly attributed to Thomas Hobbes. In this novel, a man misses the forests of Vergy while imprisoned after firing 2 shots in a church. A Voltaire-reading woman uses a marble tomb to hold a human head in this novel, which is subtitled Chronicle of the 19th Century. After his affair is exposed by Valleneau, this novel's protagonist works at a seminary with Abbé Pirard.
The red and the black.
Yes, 10 points.
Nice.
Good ones.
Your bonus, Lexington. This figure is forced to give up his right thumb in observance of Guru Dakshina. For 10 points each, name this prince of the Nishada tribe who claims to have learned archery from Dronacharya after studying for years from a statue of him.
Iklavya.
Yes. Iklavya's prowess was discovered when he shoots multiple arrows in the mouth of a dog owned by these figures without killing it. The twin children of the Ashvins are part of this group who are exiled after losing a rigged game of dice.
Pandavas.
Yes. The story of Eklavya appears in this Hindu epic about the Kurukshetra war that contains the Bhagavad Gita.
Mahabharata.
30 points.
Good.
Toss-up 10. A 2011 work in this medium by Pippin Barr recreates performance artist Marina Abramovich as the artist is present. Clouds scroll through one of the many modifications to works in this medium by Corey Archangel. A work in this medium, inspired by the Fleischer Brothers cartoons, depicts a character dressed like Cab Calloway in a purple suit. A 2007 work in this medium directed by Ken Levine responds to Ayn Rand with the character Andrew Ryan. Inside the Castle Walls and Great Fairy Fountain are songs conducted for this medium by Koji Kondo. Directors in this medium include Hideo Kojima and Shigeru Miyamoto.
Video game?
That's right.
Nice.
10 points for video games, and your bonus, the temperature at which this process occurs is inversely proportional to molecular weight by the Flory-Fox equation. For 10 points each, the polymers in a material can experience conformational changes in finite time after undergoing what process? This process corresponds to a step in the plot of a signal during differential scanning calorimetry.
I don't know. Synthesis.
It's the glass transition. The glass transition causes an increase in a material's value of this quantity, the amount of energy it takes to raise a material's temperature by 1 degree.
Specific heat. Specific heat.
Yes. Above the glass transition temperature, rubber elastomers maintain a solid structure due to these bonds between polymer chains. Excuse me.
Oh, crosslinks.
Yes, 20 points. That is the half. I currently have a score of Strake Jesuit 210, Lexington 110, again with 40 points under protest.
We did this one. You just sent CT.
A 40-point swing under protest, that is.
We came back from a bigger difference today.
We're there, bro. Huh? We're there. Every toss. Every toss.
So you're not cooked.
I need to start buzzing. 'Cause, like, I was
Got nothing to lose.
Fine.
Okay. Let's go.
I'm betting my mic back.
It's the Civil War binary to hold.
prisoners of
Everybody in? Are both teams ready to continue with the second half?
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's go. Good to go.
Let's go.
We got it.
All right, as a reminder, current score, Strake Jesuit 210, Lexington 110, going into toss-up 11. Good luck to both teams. Art cannot function without this concept, but can function without a market, according to a Lewis Hyde book featuring a section claiming it must always move. The relationship between this concept and domination is used to analyze its gender in a book by Marilyn Strathern that builds on an earlier work's discussion of these things' spirit that creates a bond called how among...
Gifts.
20 points.
Good.
Nice.
Good boys.
Your bonus, Lexington. 1930s newsreels often failed to directly capture newsworthy events. 10 points each. One exception was when a camera capturing routine footage of a mooring at Lakehurst, New Jersey, caught the fiery destruction of this Zeppelin named for a German field marshal.
Hindenburg.
Yes, a $5,000 bounty by Universal Newsreel to capture this event on camera went unclaimed. A failed attempt at this action began after Melvin Purvis lit his cigar outside of the Biograph Theater in Chicago in 1934.
Robbing a bank. Robbing a bank.
The Arrest of John Dillinger. A newsreel series with this last word in its title often used dramatic reenactments. This word titles a publication founded in 1923 that Henry Luce published in addition to Life.
He did live.
Time.
20 points.
Nice.
Toss. Do we have it? Oh, okay. We can give you the protest resolution right now. Where is it? Ah. Helpfully tagged for me. Okay, so the ruling is that the protest is denied. I'll tell you why. The second sentence references the city of Njimi, which was located on the northern side of Lake Chad and not on the Niger River. Additionally, the Girgam is a chronicle of the Kanem-Bornu Empire, which was based around Lake Chad and was well north of the Niger River. Thus, the Niger River is an incorrect answer, as it's not a correct answer to all clues. Protest is denied. Make sense? All right. There. So the current score is accurate, and for now, we'll resume with toss-up 12. In 1987, 2 earthquakes struck on the same day in this country's Coca Valley, now home to the sinkhole-plagued Coca-Codo Sinclair Dam. The ancient Kanyari city of Tumebamba in this modern-day country sat at the confluence of 4 rivers and is mostly buried under its city of Cuenca. This country's most populous city is on the west bank of the...
Colombia?
No, not Colombia. Largest Pacific discharging river in South America. Tourists can head to the Teleférico district in this country's capital to take a gondola up the Pichincha volcano. Another volcano in this country is home to the farthest point from the Earth's center and can be seen from Guayaquil. For 10 points, name this country home to Cotopaxi and Chimborazo, whose capital is Quito. 10.
Nice.
For Ecuador. Your bonus. In antenna theory, this regime holds beyond a distance defined as either twice wavelength or twice dimension squared over wavelength. 10 points each. Name this regime in which the angular field distribution is independent of distance from the antenna. In this regime, diffraction is modeled as the result of in-phase plane waves.
Far field.
That's right.
Nice.
Receiving antennae are contrasted with antennae that perform this process. This process, whose coefficient equals 1 minus the reflection coefficient, precedes power distribution in namesake lines. Answer?
I don't know.
Transmission.
Okay.
Power patterns of antennae are often given in this log scale unit. This is the typical unit for the volume of sound.
Decibel.
Correct. For 20 on the bonus. Toss-up 13. One man in this play sucks on a cigar all day because he can't suck a teat, according to staging notes by Elia Kazan. This play's author described pouring chocolate on a steak before writing this play in The Catastrophe of Success.
The Glass Menagerie.
Nope. Not The Glass Menagerie. A woman in this play picks up a scarf, tells a man he looks like a prince from the Arabian Nights, and covers a light with a paper lantern after a blue piano plays. The Varsuviana polka in this play reminds a woman of her husband Alan Gray, who kills himself after a gay affair. A woman in this play says, "I have always depended on the kindness of strangers," after she's raped by a man who yells, "Stella!" Stanley Kowalski. For 10 points, name this Tennessee Williams play about Blanche Dubois.
A Streetcar Named Desire.
That is the one. You get 10 points. And this bonus. Description acceptable. In one play, 2 men who dress up as the spirits of rape and murder are killed by its title character before being subjected to this action. 10 points each. Describe this action which that character performs to desecrate the corpses of Demetrius and Chiron in revenge for their violent mutilation of his daughter Lavinia.
Oh, so like what play is that? Like setting them on fire.
They're baked into a pie.
Okay.
To write Titus Andronicus, Shakespeare likely drew from this Roman tragedian's play Thyestes, whose title character is fed pies made from his sons to avenge an affair with his brother's wife.
Oh God. Terence.
Seneca.
Okay.
In the Victorian Penny Dreadful, The String of Pearls, Mrs. Lovett makes pies from the victims of this serial killer, the demon barber of Fleet Street.
Sweeney Todd.
Is correct for 10.
That's nice.
Also 14. Simple examples of these structures can be incrementally launched. Joseph B. Strauss pioneered the bascule type of these structures and assisted in the construction of one of these non-vehicular structures that provides a textbook example of aeroelastic flutter.
Bridges.
20 points.
Nice.
There we go, for bridges. That is Adi. And your bonus, answer the following about items falling on the heads of ancient Greeks. 10 points each. Draco died after being suffocated with the hats, shirts, and cloaks of his supporters in one of these locations. Many of Aeschylus's plays were performed at an Athenian one of these places.
Theater. Yeah, go.
Amphitheater.
Yeah, it's fine. Just theater in general. Tarquinius Priscus, whose father's origin in this city prevented him from holding office in Etruria, had an eagle drop a cap on his head in Rome. Lucius Mummius Achaicus destroyed this city.
Carthage.
Corinth. This Greek king was killed after an old woman dropped a roof tile on his head in Argos. This man, the first to use war elephants against Rome, defeated the Romans at Heraclea and Asculum.
Pyrrhus.
Yes, Pyrrhus is correct for 20.
Good 40.
Toss up 15. This man outlined his views about the doctrine of accommodation in a text written to Grand Duchess Christina. A military device that this man first demonstrated alongside Paolo Sarpi was preceded by one by Hans Lipperhey and was key to his writing Siderius Nuncius. Views advocated for by Urban VIII are related by the character of Simplicio in a book by this man that led to a trial where he supposedly muttered, "And yet it moves." This lecturer at the University of Padua had his dialogue concerning the two chief world systems placed on the Index of Forbidden Books for its sympathetic
Copernicus?
No,
Hey, chill.
not Copernicus. For its sympathetic treatment of Copernicus' heliocentric system. For 10 points, name this scientist who used a telescope to discover the moons of Jupiter.
Galileo.
Galileo. 10 points for Adi, and your bonus, Lexington. Ludwig Wittgenstein's Philosophical Investigations begins with this philosopher's account of learning language as a child. 10 points each. Name this author who wrote about his conversion from Manichaeism to Christianity in his Confessions.
St. Augustine.
Yes, in De Doctrina Christiana, Augustine outlines an early theory of this field by contrasting things with the signs that represent them. This field is the study of how signs communicate meaning.
Semiotics. Semiotics?
Yes,
Nice.
Augustine called lying simple because it goes against language's purpose as a communicative medium in a work titled for this Greek word for handbook, which also titles a work by the Stoic philosopher Epictetus.
Tedis.
Answer?
Libre.
Enchiridion. 20 on the bonus. At the three-quarter mark, I have a score of Strake Jesuit 260, Lexington 220.
Okay, nice.
5 toss-ups remain. Good luck, both teams. Here's toss-up 16. This symphony's second movement begins stormily in A minor, but climaxes with a D major brass chorale that reappears near the end of its rondo finale. This symphony's scherzo opens with 4 horns playing D, F sharp, long low A, then running up to a high B as the obligato horn enters. The fourth of this symphony's 5 movements is in F major and is scored for strings and solo harp. A solo trumpet plays a short.
Baller 5.
10 points.
Nice.
Job.
It's okay.
Your bonus. After his bell towers were blamed for causing cracks in the facade of St. Peter's Basilica, this sculptor began, but never finished, the piece Truth Unveiled by Time.
Oh,
And what's each named this Baroque sculpture of the Ecstasy of St. Teresa.
Bernini.
Yes, this Bernini artwork in St. Peter's Basilica required so much bronze that some was looted from the portico of the Pantheon. This large canopy covers the basilica's high altar and is covered in bees representing Urban VIII.
Baldacchino.
Yes, though he fell out of favor with Innocent X, Bernini was commissioned by the Pamphili family for this sculpture, in which an obelisk covered in hieroglyphs towers above a lounging god representing gods of locations in South America and
Oh, it's
Asia.
The rivers thing. The Fountain of the Four Rivers. Fountain of the Four Rivers.
30 points.
Oh, let's go.
17. Jerry Donilatos pioneered an environmental form of this technique in which water vapor is admitted into the sample chamber. In this technique, capturing backscatter instead of secondary particles emphasizes difference in atomic number rather than surface topology. Prior to this technique, samples can be coated in palladium or carbon.
Microscopy.
I need more.
Electron microscopy.
That's 20
Nice.
points.
Good job. Why are you so scared, bro? Come on.
20 points for Max, and this bonus for Strake. This month was traditionally the most popular time for Hakawati performances. 10 points each. Name this holy month that, in the 21st century, usually corresponds with a big increase in evening TV viewership for its namesake dramas. Jordan imposes fines for not observing a fast during this month.
Ramadan.
Ramadan.
Yes. Hakawati performances and Ramadan soaps would be watched following this fast-breaking meal.
Iftar. Iftar.
Yes.
Nice.
Many retailers, especially those throughout Egypt and the Levant, decorate their stores with elaborate examples of these objects called fawanis during Ramadan. In another tradition, these objects often have riddles written on them during Kap Gomeh.
These objects.
I guess you were gonna guess.
Oh, okay.
Just say something.
Answer?
floor mat.
Lanterns.
Okay.
20 on the bonus. Toss up 18. In a story by this author, Laura torments her friend Amanda after being reincarnated as an otter. A boy created by this author decides that a Hudon hen is an Anabap.
Saki.
That's a good buzz.
Let's
Good
go!
buzz.
Let's go! Good shit.
20 points for Jacob. Here's your bonus. Strake. Answer the following about dances named after their sounds for 10 points each. Though originally named for a bagpipe, bal musette dances are most frequently performed to this instrument. Polka and zydeco dances are done to concertinas and this bellow-like instrument with a keyboard.
It's what?
Like an instrument with a keyboard.
Accordion. Accordion.
This dance's name derives from the sound of shoes when performing a triple step. Like the mambo, this Cuban dance is derived from danzón.
Cuban
What's
dance.
another key? Roomba.
Sure.
Yeah, go Roomba.
It's the cha-cha.
Okay.
In a dance similar to stepping, South African miners communicated with each other by slapping these specific clothing items. These rubber items, inspired by Hessian examples, were popularized by a British prime minister.
Like hats. Hats.
Now these are gum boots or
Okay.
Wellington boots. 10 of the bonus. Toss up 19. A member of this group described having flaming paper dropped on her in a bathroom stall in the memoir Warriors Don't Cry. Will Counts took the scream image of a member of this group, Elizabeth Eckford. Virgil Blossom's Blossom Plan led to an event in
The Little Rock 9.
20 points.
Good buzz.
Your bonus. Carlos Menem broke with this ideology by implementing free market reforms. For 10 points each, name this political ideology centered around strong trade unions and anti-elite populism. The Descamisados supported this ideology's namesake leader, whose return from exile coincided with the Ezeiza massacre.
Peronism.
Yes. Carón advocated for a system with this name that rejects communism and capitalism. In Fascism, Umberto Eco analyzes an international movement of this name, founded by Roberto Fiore. Answer?
Modernism.
Called the third position.
Okay.
Working-class Argentinians supported Perón after the charitable efforts of this wife of his, who died in 1952. A first
Eva?
name is acceptable.
Eva.
Yes,
Or
or
same
Evita.
thing.
Both
Yeah, same
good.
thing.
20 on the bonus. And here's the last toss-up. Inscriptions on these objects are used to describe a concept as mystery and as a return in a book partially titled For Salvation by Jan Assmann. A collection of compositions named for these objects includes elaborate depictions of the paths of Rostow and Field of Offerings in its Book of Two Ways. Spells protecting transmigration of the Akh appear in those texts named for these objects. In Plutarch's retelling, one of these objects, secretly designed for Isis's husband, is displayed at a...
Shoot. Coffins.
Nice.
10 points. Coffins or sarcophagi. Your bonus, the title character Fatima dies just after seeing her children during one of these events in the Balkan ballad Hasana Ginica. 10 points each. The Croatian poet Michael Varancius celebrated one of what events by writing an epithalamion.
Oh,
In the
wedding.
lost poem Kupria, the apple of discord is thrown at one of these events.
Wedding.
Yes. Hasana Ginica came to wider prominence through a translation by this German author, written shortly after this author's debut novel, The Sorrows of Young Werther.
Goethe.
Yes. This author made a French translation of Hasana Ginica in 1841. Zosha is engaged to the title character at the end of this poet's Polish national epic, Pan Tadeusz.
Oh shoot. So it's one of the Viches. Minkiewicz.
Mickiewicz.
Oh.
Okay. So close.
Okay.
20 on the bonus. That is the
Hey.
game of a final score of 440, 220.
And there you have it. We have our 2025 NSC champion, Strake Jesuit A from Houston, Texas. They were able to defeat Lexington 440 to 220 final score in that final. But Lexington kept it close way till the end. And even though that's a big point differential, Strake didn't clinch until cycle 18. Lexington finishing second by far smashes the record for highest finishing JV team, even without winning. Their second place finish puts them 17 places ahead. The last top 20 JV team to finish, in fact, the only other top 20 JV finish ever, was last year's 19th place finish by Thomas Jefferson D. This year, 3 different JV teams finished in the top 15, including, of course, Lexington in second. So congratulations to both teams. Incredible performance.
Really just an incredible finish by Strake, though. Until going into 15, they were up by just a teensy bit. They were up by, I want to say, about 40 points. They got the last 5 toss-ups.
Mm-hmm.
Just absolutely powerful finish.
Sometimes you get on a roll and nothing can stop that momentum from going. The fourth place game has also finished. Hunter A wins that game 360 to Detroit Catholic Central A's 220. Similar story there. Back and forth throughout most of the first half of the game, and Hunter just went on a tear, taking the last 7 cycles with the exception of one that both teams answered incorrectly.
Yeah, it looks like DCC just had a string of unfortunate incorrect interrupts, but again, congratulations to Hunter. These kids, these are some great kids. What can I say?
Absolutely. And we are still waiting on the final result in the 9th place game in terms of final score, but at this point we can tell you that Fremd has secured that 9th place victory over Innovation Academy A, who will finish 10th.
And there are so many just phenomenal underclassmen in this field. I mean, this is exciting for just future NSCs. I mean, this Lexington team, they're all 10th graders. They're coming back. They have 2 more years. That we have Belmont from a little farther down, led by all JV kids, and of course this Northview team that's also phenomenal with two just phenomenal specialist players. Once they start filling out some knowledge holes, they're going to be. Well, those kids are freshmen. That's 3 more years of terror from them.
Absolutely. And Strake has returned 3 of their current players were on their team last year. Last year, that same Strake team finished in 17th. So just incredible to see them move from that 17th result all the way up to 1st this year. And half of that team will be coming back next year, so don't count them out of that either.
Half the team's coming back? Oh,
Absolutely.
That's scary. That's scary.
I believe Kong is a junior, who's their second
wow.
scorer. Yep, and Jacob is a sophomore.
Yeah, he had a really strong finish. He had a really strong finish to that finals game.
Absolutely, Strake, especially for compared to some of the rest of the field in the top 16 this year. Strake, a very balanced team. All their players contributing big points to that final result.
That being said, we keep on getting these really, really impressive underclassmen that keep popping up. So who knows? Maybe the next Titan of the game that shows up on that stage might be some kid we haven't even heard of yet or hasn't even played NSC yet.
Absolutely. It's so exciting to see where that talent bubbles up from. It's always somewhere different and always difficult to predict. I mean, Audrain County from Missouri, they finished 3rd in this tournament. That is the highest finish ever for a small school at the NSC.
They must have made the residents of Mexico, Missouri, proud.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's take a look at the rest of the results we've got going on in our championship bracket right now. So again, we've got one moment. And
also, I'd like to give a shout out to Ali Hamza on behalf of a Cole from Georgetown. Thank you for calling in, Cole.
All right, we're still going. Did you finish what you were saying?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I had nothing to say.
All right, great. So again, we've got Audrain in 3rd, Hunter in 4th, DCC in 5th, Lambert in 6th, Blair finishes in 7th, and Northview, that other JV team, coming in at a very solid 8th place. Meanwhile, in the 9th to 16th bracket, we've got Frem taking that 9th place victory. Innovation in 10th, Stevenson in 11th. Thomas Jefferson A, a perennial favorite, is in 12th. Alabama Cyber Tech had that win. Strake Jesuit had that win. Strake Jesuit B had that win to get them into 13th. Alabama Cyber Tech in 14th. Belmont, again, another JV team, in 15th. And Unilab closes out the day in 16th. Really phenomenal play from all those teams in the top 16.
Oh, absolutely.
Great. Let's take a look at some of the individual results yesterday. Coming up in a bit here, we're going to have our award ceremony followed by our All-Star game, always a favorite. Those All-Star game questions will be differently formatted from the rest of the tournament. This is just for fun. And the folks represented in that All-Star game will be the top 4 individual scorers from preliminary play, plus the top individual scorers from each of the top 4 placing teams. So those people are going to be Camden Williams. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong year. Excuse me. One moment.
Trying to pull it up.
I got it.
Oh, good. I was getting lazy.
All right, we've got in first from preliminary play, the first individual, Joshua Koch from Grosse Pointe, followed by Maximilian Lin from East Chester, followed by Evan Ting from Park Tudor. Evan, just a freshman, and playing solo, I believe. Great. And then 4th there is Tate Osborne. Tate ending in fourth place for Alabama Cyber Tech. The top 4 finishing teams, again, in order: Strake Jesuit A, followed by Lexington, followed by Audrain County, followed by Hunter. So the top individuals from each of those teams will also be represented in the All-Star game. Of course, if any of our players have had to leave a little bit early, we'll drop down to the next folks.
And I'm sure the next kids that are available and potentially eligible are sitting at the edge of their seat hoping they get a chance to play this little game. So
Absolutely, yeah. One of my favorite pace memories of all time was the last toss-up of an All-Star game. I want to say it was my own senior year, although it might have been 2017. The last toss-up was an action toss-up. Action toss-ups where you have to perform the action being described, and it was cluing exit pursued by a bear.
oh yeah, that was cute.
And everybody left and ran out of the room. So that sort of fun is what you can expect from that All-Star game coming up in just a little bit here. Let's talk about some of the moments from that final. There were a few incorrect answers that were clear demonstrations of knowledge, despite those incorrect answers on the page. Notably, there was an answer of Dublin for Belfast from Justin on Strake Jesuit. Clearly knew that
he had the right idea. He's like, oh, it's something going on
there,
and just missed what side of that he was on.
Absolutely.
Real unfortunate. Really unfortunate on Ecuador. I think, was it, it's not Adi, it's not. Alvan was super duper close to where he knew exactly the right area of South America and missed it by just that much.
And then a few questions after, we had that instability for stability answer. Again, really unfortunate to see that.
And that's just a tight wording where you just miss it for half a second and suddenly gone. And on what's it called, the streetcar named Desire. They knew it was Tennessee Williams. He knew he had to pull the buzzer, and poor kid just did not have he just had the wrong half.
Absolutely, and it's answers like that you don't see from the stat page. You can't see just from looking at stats just how much knowledge these kids are bringing to the table. So a lot to be proud of here for all our teams. Looks like we're having a small technical issue. One moment. All right, and we are back. We are just moments away from the award ceremony here. So we're going to step back for just a minute to figure out how to best bring that to you. And we'll be back with you soon.
Oh, wow. This is apparently Stevenson's top 2 scorers in the playoffs.
Our second place overall scorer with 142 points per game from Eastchester in New York. In the only game I moderated at this tournament, he got 2 buzzes in the first 10 words, and I was gobsmacked. From Eastchester, Maximilian Lin, come up here. Yep. And our top overall scorer of the PACE NSC with a mind-boggling 168 points per game. That is a lot of points per game. From Grosse Pointe South in Michigan, Joshua Koch. Congratulations, Joshua. And our top 4 overall scorers here will be featured in the All-Star game coming up. Thanks, John. Now it's time for our Rising Stars Awards, but give it one more time for our All-Stars. Let's go. Our Rising Stars Award celebrates the top 4 individual players in either 9th or 10th grade by their PPG and prelims, same as All-Stars. As you saw, if you happen to watch the finals and see a JV team up here, our 9th and 10th graders are very strong, and there is a bright future ahead for them. Our 4th place Rising Star with 90 points per game from Classen in Oklahoma was Shrikar Vaja. Shrikar already picked up his trophy, but give him a quick round as well. Our 3rd place Rising Star with 96 points per game from Saratoga in California was Arjun Vijay Kumar. Arjun, come up here. To continue the conga line as he comes up here, our 2nd place overall score with 102 points per game from Georgetown Day in Washington, D.C. Our only team from D.C. is Houghton Nepal. Houghton, come up. And shocking no one because he was already an all-star, our top overall Rising Star is Evan Ting, who still has 138 points per game. Congratulations. We can run out the line. Give one last round for our Rising Stars. Sure, why not? Yeah. Did Evan not get 2 medals, Victor? Did Evan not get his 2nd medal? Oh yeah, that's fine. He's got one already. You'll get one before you leave, Evan. Now let's talk about the JV division. The JV division recognizes students in 10th grade or below only. We'd like to recognize 3rd through 1st place, and all of these teams finished in our top 20 overall, so these were really strong teams. In 3rd place from Belmont, Massachusetts was Belmont High School. Belmont. I will announce the others so they can get in line and we can do the line. In 2nd place, from Johns Creek, Georgia, was Northview High School. Northview has already collected their trophies as well, so they could catch their flight. Give a quick round for Northview. And our 1st place team You may have just seen in the finals of this tournament, for the first time ever, a JV team made the finals of the PACE NSC, was the incredibly impressive Lexington High School from Lexington, Massachusetts. Congratulations, Lexington. All right, congratulations to all of our JV teams. Woo! Now it's time to give out the Small School Division Awards. PACE classifies small schools as any school that is a non-selective public school with less than 700 students in grades 10 through 12. These small schools are often underrepresented in Quiz Bowl, and we want to give a special recognition to these teams as part of our efforts to have as wide a community as possible. Quiz Bowl has a lot of different faces, and these teams are showing their best faces here at this tournament. Our third place small school was Russell High School from Russell, Kentucky. Russell already took their trophy as well. Some teams had to fly home. Could you believe it? Our second place team from Cullman, Alabama is West Point High School. West Point, are y'all in the building? I see you. Yeah. And our first place team in the small school division, who is awkwardly hanging around the back of the room. Hello again, Camden. It's Audrain County Academic Team from Mexico, Missouri. Come back up here. Coaches, y'all can come up too if you want a photo. Lastly, we would like to recognize the overall teams in 16th through first place. These were the top 16 teams at our tournament, and they really killed it today. So in 16th place, representing Urbana, Illinois, is University Lab. When I called, just head up. Unilab, congrats. In 15th place is Belmont from Belmont, Massachusetts. In 14th place, from Huntsville, Alabama, is Alabama Cybertech. In 13th place from Houston, Texas, Strake Jesuit B, our highest performing B team. In 12th place from Alexandria, Virginia, a team that requires no introduction, Thomas Jefferson A. That's a tough crowd. In 11th place from Lincolnshire, Illinois, Stevenson A. They slowly walk from the back. This is why I said to stand in the front. I'm just playing. In 10th place, from Alpharetta, Georgia, Innovation Academy A. In 9th place, a team that fought a ruthless two-stage tiebreaker to get 9th place, from Palatine, Illinois, Fremd A. And now we'll announce the top 8. These were the teams at the very height of our bracket in the championship bracket today. In 8th place is Northview, who already left. Woo, Northview! Good work. In 7th place, from Silver Spring, Maryland, which I thought was Silver Springs, Maryland, until today, Montgomery Blair A. In 6th place, a team that is already awkwardly shuffling towards the stage because they know they're in 6th place already. When I graduated from Lambert High School in 2019, Lambert had never made the playoffs at any national tournament. And now they're here in 6th place. Lambert, my alma mater, give them a hand. In 5th place, another team that requires no introduction for longtime pace heads, from Novi, Michigan, Detroit Catholic Central A. In fourth place, representing New York, New York. Some are calling it the Zagreb of America. And by some people, I mean only Eric Adams and no one else. It's Hunter A. Chloe, do you want to be in the photo? Yeah, go for it. I mean, are you down? Yeah. Nor do I. We're on for life. And Colin could do a photo with you down there as well. In third place, a team that has been up here twice already today and will come up for a third time because they're in third place. It's the Audrain County Academic Team, the artist known as the Audrain County Academic Team from Mexico, Missouri. No one knows who their real identity is. Our greatest scientists are working around the clock to find out. But here they are. Guatemala High School. Our second place team has also already been up here, so I will also have them walk towards here. It's Lexington High School from Lexington, in Lexington. And in first place, a team that has been waiting very long because they were not eligible for JV or small school or anything else, but they did win the actual tournament, which is slightly better. Strake Jesuit A. Bobby would be so proud. Bobby Condon, my goat. All right, that is it for the actual award ceremony. Now it is time for something that some people think is even better than the awards themselves, the All-Star Game. The All-Star Game has a long and storied history of being the greatest packet Pace NSC has assembled, with many of the ideas of all time. So Jeffrey Wu, our fantastic head editor, who has been involved with providing the quality control and the idea management for the set you've been playing this weekend, will be guiding us on a wonderful journey through Quiz Bowl's strangest ideas. Gonna run through the list of people who are in the All-Star game real quick. Max Chen from Strake. Shashir from Lexington. Camden from Audrain County. Evan from Hunter. The other Evan from Park Tudor. There's a lot of Evans. Maximilian from Eastchester. Tate Osborne and Joshua. So how this is going to work is we have pre-sorted y'all into teams of 4. I'll wait for everyone to get over before the explanation, actually. We've got, who are we missing? Tate, you're here. Evan, you're here. Who am I missing? Camden, where are you? Camden Williams, get over here. You're going to win the award for most meandering.
And there you have it. That is a wrap on regular play here at this year's PACE NSC for 2025. We've been your hosts for this tournament. I'm Chloe Emma White-Levine.
I'm Andrew Wong.
And we have loved being here with you on the live stream all weekend long. Thank you so much for following along with us. If you enjoyed the tournament, if you enjoyed the live stream, please consider giving PACE a donation. Again, we do work all year round to promote Quiz Bowl and the Quiz Bowl community throughout the country and the world. And it takes a lot of time, effort, money, people to make this possible. So with your help, we can make this stream even better next year and just keep building on what's been such a fun and fabulous time with you.
Absolutely, and that's pace-nsc.org/donate. And if you're interested in staffing a future PACE NSC, such as the one in 2026, or even farther out if you really just want to wait, reach out at staffing@pace-nsc.org, and we'll talk.
Coming up next after a brief break so I can pack up for the airport, we're going to have special coverage for the All-Star game featuring the top 4 individuals plus the top individuals from the top 4 teams. And it's going to be Andrew staying on with some special guests you'll meet in a moment, giving a live commentary throughout the entire All-Star game in real time. Thank you very much for being with us today. Have a great rest of your weekend.
sliding in for sure.
See, it's nice when you're old because you can just say the kids say stuff and then it's immediately funny for no reason.
I mean, like my brother is like 8 years younger than me, so
There you go.
I've been able to do this for years.
That's how you do it.
I was doing this when I was 25, because he was 17.
Are you claiming that I'm Damon Runyon on this commentary stream? Is that what's going on over there? I don't think I'm that funny.
Mike, do you know what head ass means?
Is it like dead ass, but like just based on your dialect, because you can't pronounce the first D, but you can pronounce.
It's actually it's actually Irish. It's like a.
Do I want to know this?
Like the super mouse,
Yeah.
like dead mouse.
The kids are yeah.
Yeah.
It's like dead ass, except.
You're saying head ass right now.
What's exciting is when I teach actual kids, and then like young quiz rollers are like, the kids say this, and I'm like, they don't say that anymore. You old. Fuck you.
What grade do you teach?
High school.
Like yeah, I know.
What grade do you teach?
All of them.
Okay.
9 through 12. All of them?
Do you teach super?
Both of them.
How many super seniors do you have?
None. Actually.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Oh wow.
You gotta flip that around.
Some state agency, but those probably won't exist when I graduate,
How
unfortunately.
much times have you played the Australia?
I'd do like
it's
State Department
my
or like I'd like something for the defense industry.
Third time?
That's what
I
really
guess.
interests me.
It
Not
might
enough
be
to be
fourth.
an
I don't
engineer,
remember, dude.
though.
I've been doing this shit too long. I'm ready to be done.
Where are you going to school?
Truman. It's
Huh?
Truman.
Is that Missouri?
Yeah.
Nice. Congrats.
Got a good deal close to home.
Yes. That's all that matters.
Who's the guy moderating?
Huh?
Who's the guy moderating? Jeffrey Wu.
Hey, they call
Oh,
it
yeah,
the
that is
Harvard of the
Jeffrey Wu.
Midwest, bro.
Yeah, he's the. They said he was the
reader
head
guy.
packet writer and the QB reader.
Are you going to keep on
Yeah.
playing Quiz Bowl? or not?
Formerly of
I don't want to.
Columbia.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh,
Like I
wait, are
joke
we
about it
on
all the
mic?
time, but I really am.
Not
I
yet.
would. Okay. I do have.
Move on to the next chapter of life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not the best at running tournaments, I will admit.
You don't get to say that yet, though.
It's,
You got
it's
2 more
upside
years
down.
left of this
Yeah,
shit.
it's upside down. 21.
Don't get depressed by me being depressing.
I literally wore these at HSSAT, and then I went up to shake out their hand, and I got up and it ripped out.
Oh. 5-4-3. Okay, nice.
down as president.
Get in there, coach. They need you. My team's on the floor.
Good afternoon, everyone. Awesome. It is a beautiful Sunday afternoon in Rosemont, Illinois, a city that is definitely classified as a town and not a city. Today, we are playing the best packet of pace, the All-Star packet, a packet that celebrates the most advanced players in the world, they're saying. Some of the best. And I'm joined today by my head editor, it's Pace's head editor, Jeffrey Wu, who has done a fantastic job writing this set and editing this set throughout the week. He once said in the server, "This is the last time I'll head edit." So you can tell that he is really enthused to be here. To start us out, just some quick rules. It is a Quiz Bowl game. If you don't know how Quiz Bowl works, wow, what a coincidence. Like, you managed to get here and you don't know how Quiz Bowl works? That's really awesome. You were just hitting the buzzer whenever and just saying things. Good job. This is more of a vibes type environment than a correctness type environment. If you try to protest, I will deny it myself, and I'm not even on the protest committee.
Yeah, that's our job.
But if you say something and it's good, it feels good, we'll give you points. This is a good environment, especially since we are doing this for charity. So to start out, I'd like our teams to introduce themselves. The first player on each team, or whoever came up with your silly little team name, can say your team name. I want you, when you buzz, I want you to say your name, what school you're from, and if you're a senior, where you will be attending college in the fall. If you are a senior and you are not going to college, it's your life, I guess. So to start out with our first player on team 1.
Evan.
From where?
Oh, from Park Tudor.
Awesome.
Max from Eastchester.
Shashir from Lexington.
I'm Camden. I'm a senior at Mexico High School in Audrain County, which is why our name is Canadian County AT. The very uninspired name.
Where are you going to college, Camden?
Going to college at Truman.
Let's go. Shoutouts to Kirksville. And what is your team name?
Canada County.
Yeah, I forgot about that. My bad.
I'm ahead.
My name is Tate Osborne. I'm a senior at the Alabama School of Cyber Technology and Engineering, and I will be attending Auburn University in the fall.
I am not allowed to cheer for that as a UGA alum, but good job.
Charles Barkley would be proud of this kid.
I'm Josh Cook from Grosse Pointe, Michigan, and I'm going to be attending the University of Michigan. Go Blue.
I'm Evan Schleck from Hunter College High School. I'm a senior, and I'll be going to Georgetown University in the fall. Sorry to say Superior Bulldog School.
Yeah. Maybe in basketball.
I'm Max. I'm from Strake, and I'll be going to Rice.
Excellent. Staying in H-Town.
Yeah.
All right, Jeffrey, you wanna? Oh wait, what's your team name?
Oh, 3
plus 1 Musketeers.
3 plus 1 Musketeers.
Yo,
This
this is
it.
2 plus 1.
Classic. Jeffrey, take us away.
All right, hello everyone. I'm Jeffrey. I'm the head editor of the set this year. Before we get started, can I have each team identify a coach that they would like to represent them?
From the stands or?
Yeah,
wherever you want.
Gannon.
Anytime now.
Gannon Evans, come up here. Who's y'all set?
Chloe Levine.
Chloe,
These are not real
is
dogs.
Chloe, are you on comms or already or?
Make Gannon
Chloe is
stand
over
Oh,
there.
Chloe's here.
Hello.
Woo!
Tell Jeffrey to make Gannon stand behind.
All right. So
Gannon, you are standing in front of the wrong team.
Two coaches would be great.
You don't know what
Some
team you're
coach
Hello.
here.
You're the chaperone.
I thought you loved us.
all right. So to keep it moving, next before the match, we had each team select a charity of their choice from a predetermined list. So I'm going to start on my right here, 3 plus 1 Musketeers. They selected the Damon Runyon Cancer Research Foundation, which identifies talented early career cancer researchers and gives them the money they need to work towards cures. And on my left, Canada County AT selected the Suicide Prevention let's see, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, which funds research on suicide prevention, mental health awareness in schools, and screening programs to connect people with support. So let's give a round of applause. All right, and all the buzzers have been checked?
They work.
Okay, beautiful. All right.
If it doesn't, yell or slap the table. I don't care.
And you're ready to score, Keith?
Yep.
Okay. All right, best of luck to both teams. Toss-up 1. The product of quantities denoted by these two letters equals the radiated power received by a telescope dish. Harvey Fletcher helped develop a tool named for these two letters that quantifies the extent of hearing loss. A magnetic field of 1 Tesla exerts a torque equal to the product of quantities denoted by these two letters on a loop of wire perpendicular to the field. The product of quantities denoted by these two letters should be added to E equals mc squared according to
AI.
That's correct. 20.
Dude, I powered that question.
Two. Description acceptable. Before the 2025 PACE NSC, this paradigm was only used for high school tournaments once. That use of this paradigm was for a biology hard part about insertion into a genome in 2023 Show Me More. The most recent use of this controversial paradigm before 2025 PACE NSC featured a toss-up on the apparatus from In the Penal.
Like, description required?
Description required is correct for 20 points.
Let's go.
I respect the videos red packets.
Toss-up 3. A pianist accompanies two vocalists who only sing a single word in this language in a piece often attributed to Gioacchino Rossini. In a purported case of...
like cat language? Meow?
Yeah, cat language is correct. For power.
Weren't there 2 toss-up 2s?
They added
4. This literary work's conclusion may have caused outrage among its target audience after the names of 2 people were revealed. An addendum written to address potential reactions to this work includes a bracketed explanation of a concept involving the act of reading. The introduction to this work describes a prophecy about a climactic moment that is likely to occur near this work's ending. This work, which contains 662 characters...
This question?
That's correct. For 10.
You can't accept that. It's only this toss-up. Yeah. This is an outrage.
5. A proposal for a trading card game based on this website included a rollbacker card, which when played gave the player plus 250. The game Catfishing is called this website.
Tinder?
Tinder's incorrect.
How does he know about that? I think
that's the best possible name.
Like Wikipedia.
Wikipedia is correct for 20. Skull.
I got turned 18. I made that count.
That's really deadly serious.
Yeah, that's for the player haters out there.
All right. Description acceptable. A decades-long head of this organization bought property in the 1960s from known mobster Sam Giacchino. One of the main pillars of this organization is Beaumark, which specializes in cleaning and parking services. A 2002 article in the Daily Northwestern on this organization noted its racist enforcement of keeping Hispanic residents out of the Scott Street subdivision. A Christmas special in The Economist on this organization compared it to Gabon, but noted it was less likely to be subject to a coup. The de facto leader of this organization, Donald Stevens, beat 2 separate federal indictments and, like his brother, has served as mayor. This organization benefits from high taxes paid by the Allstate Arena. The tax rolls funding this organization were boosted in 2013 with the opening of the fashion outlets of Chicago. For 10 points, yes.
Rosemont, Illinois?
That's correct.
You kids notice we're across from the Donald D. Stevens Convention Center yet?
Look around you.
All right. Description acceptable. One of these people had previously run Aspire Health and is named Brad Smith. Another of these people won the Vesuvius Prize while at the University of Nebraska in 2024 and is the Thiel Fellow Luke Freiter. A one-time nurse named Amy Gleason is nominally the head of these people. A 19-year-old one of these people...
Like Doge workers?
That's correct for 20.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Was it Big Balls?
All right.
Probably.
Name or description acceptable. According to a 1941 work, the effect of this medium depends on a space or a nondescript color. It's not watercolor, but this medium was called not too extravagant with a decided bias towards the barbaric in that same work. A gramophone, a table, and this medium were used in a performance art piece that induced laughter in the Bradmans. A novelist responded to a work created using this medium by saying that parting is such sweet sorrow and tiptoeing away. The hyper-realistic works Ruth and Elvira were created using this medium. The most notable work using this medium is titled after a line from To a Skylark. For 10 points, name this medium who really likes sandwiches in a no-powered play.
Like for us, for example.
Like a ghost?
Sorry, it's incorrect.
Okay.
That's why we're on camera.
Mike, it's because the toss-up's too hard. It's appropriate for the All-Star game.
Oh.
It's two things at once.
Person.
Sorry, it's incorrect.
Okay.
Spirit?
No.
Prompt. Go nuts.
No,
Prompt.
no,
See
no,
what they say.
it's wrong.
See what they say.
Don't prompt them.
So you
Blight
can prompt on the
spirit?
wrong answer.
Yeah. No, that's all we need. Yeah. Yeah, that's correct. 10 points. Or what was it? Yeah, Madam Arcady. Medium like a person
Yeah,
who
okay.
communicates.
Get
Yeah.
it, guys?
She was a little strong. She was a small medium.
That was only the medium part. Just wait till the hard part.
Got him.
I like the completely non-indicative like blue right.
All right, toss up 9. This piece begins with a pickup eighth note in the voice before the rhythm section enters with the motif F sharp up to short B sharp, C sharp, short D sharp, down to G sharp, short A sharp, D, short C sharp.
Is this a Nokia ringtone?
Hmm?
Is it the Nokia ringtone?
It is not. Nokia is incorrect, sorry. This F sharp's major piece recapitulates its main theme, 8th notes A sharp, F sharp, 16th notes F sharp, D sharp, 8th notes F sharp 4 times. To justify a weather forecast, this piece contains the lyric, judging by the hole in the satellite picture.
All-Star.
That's correct. For 10 points.
Yeah, see, like, Evan seems like the kid.
Every player in this game exemplifies the title object of for 10 points. One piece by Smash
Man of
Mouth.
culture.
All right.
Also man of color.
Toss up 10. Description required. Canto 6 of Dante's Purgatorio provides the earliest accounts of names of characters in his work. This work borrows its main trope from an Ovidian story which explains the color of mulberry fruits. Jamie Lloyd recently adapted this work which starred Tom Holland as its male lead. One character in this work drinks a potion to become
Pyramus and Thisbe?
Sorry, it's incorrect. One character's work drinks a potion to become cataleptic for 2 and 40 hours. After getting
You can write one right now.
Romeo and Juliet?
sorry, it's incorrect. After getting fatally wounded in his play, Mercutio declares a plague on both your houses. The famous line, "Wherefore art thou?" is from this play that takes place in fair Verona and features a feud between the Montagues and Capulets. For 10 points, describe this Shakespearean play starring Romeo and Juliet.
Like the play where like Romeo and Juliet fall in love, then like kill themselves.
According to my CBI knowledge, you're supposed to put that into the
Kids are playing the game the wrong way.
Like
So after 10 toss-ups, I have a score of 90 for Canada County Academic Team and 60 for 3+1 Musketeers. Chloe, you want to give us some coaching?
Yeah, I don't know.
someone impersonating Frank Kelly
Hey
or
guys.
impersonating John Madden.
Which team's
It's been
timeout was
real
that?
these past
I think
10
it's
minutes. It's all been
Yeah.
building toward this.
That was the
Don't
toss-up
throw
after
it
the
all
toss-up and before the
away. That's what I have to say.
Thank you.
I only commit to this. I've never been able to
Also,
see
I have a bunch of family who went to Auburn and Michigan, and I'm going to be in DC next year. So I didn't hear where you're going. Where are you going to school? Right, and I live in Texas right now. So yay.
Yay.
You did great.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Toss up 11. A journalist for The New Yorker described how a man apologized for speaking in a manner described by this adjective by saying officialese is my only language. The use of phrases described by this adjective and self-invented cliches demonstrated Adolf Eichmann's inability to think, according to Hannah.
Banal?
Sorry, that's incorrect. According to Hannah Arendt, it's not standard, but this adjective, which has undergone significant semantic broadening, names the known concentrated solutions that are diluted at the start of chemistry labs. Olds often imitate younger quiz bowlers by saying
Skibbity.
Skibbity, yeah.
Stock.
Stock's
Oh.
correct for 10.
Okay,
by saying M stock M.
Oh, M stock. No, I was thinking about the entire time.
Okay. Description acceptable. One painting in the series crops the title Quince, Cabbage, and Cucumber of a Juan Sanchez Cotan Bodegon and replaces the remaining melon with a knight in a red tunic. A parody of Gustave Courbet's The Meeting in this series shows Gustave Courbet meeting identical Gustave Courbet. This series' original patron entirely curated its first edition from his then brother-in-law, surrealist Christopher Zetterstrand. In 2020, a team used a patch of dandelions from a reference image to find the original landscape of a...
This is like the Windows 95, like, the home screen.
Sorry, it's incorrect.
Wait,
Original landscape.
You just want like Windows backdrops in general.
Sorry, that's incorrect.
You've been led down the primrose path.
Of a
it's called
moonlit
this,
moonlit entry in the series that depicts a burning skull. Works from this.
Minecraft paintings.
That's correct.
Oh.
20.
Nice.
What's
You
an
know, Toss
OTD?
spins on 800 million
several
times.
times.
She's a mouse.
Got one.
Yeah, Cooper.
Yeah,
All right.
Oh, it's about
Toss
10
up
grams from
13.
King's Quest.
Pen, paper, and a certain type of stone required for a quick 10 points. What was the answer line for the bonus where listening to that phrase was required?
What?
Yeah,
Remember from earlier?
You got to be a pace office to know this.
Ink.
Ink's correct.
Where's my boy Ophir?
Yeah, that was a bonus. Yeah.
Is that ink? All right.
Yeah.
Toss up 14. This writer describes superstitions as the lone survivors of the shipwreck in the poem If You're Anything Like Me. Daphne du Maurier's Rebecca inspired a work by this writer describing a lover she made, my temple, my mural, my sky. This writer alluded to A Tale of Two Cities by opening one work of the line, it was the best of times, the worst of crimes. This writer's then partner used the pseudonym William Bowery to collaborate with them on a work featuring a recurring line, I think I've seen this film before and I didn't like the ending. The title characters unusually both survive at the end of...
Taylor Swift?
Taylor Swift's correct for 10 points.
Yeah.
15. 4 answers required.
Oh no.
This group of 4 includes a figure syncretized with the sewer goddess Cloacina, the owner of a palace with golden columns and invisible servants.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Sorry, it's incorrect.
So good at
He figured that one was Venus.
Yeah, there you go.
A figure who praises bees as having understand no more than what nature taught them, and a concept Paul Ricoeur paired with narrative in the title of one book. This group of 4 includes a deity who had a child of Anchises, a figure who had hot oil spilled on his face as he was sleeping, the child of Plutus in youth, and a concept modeled by the A and B series in an essay on its unreality by J. M. E. McTaggart. This group of 4 includes the wife of Vulcan, the lover of Psyche, a personified concept praised in a satirical,
Eros, Pathos, Logos, Agape.
Sorry, it's incorrect.
Thinking too hard.
Venus, Cupid, Folly, and Time.
That's correct.
Oh my god.
This really needs more eras. I'll fix that.
That was Miss McCullers.
16. A Tom Dillion TikTok describes influencers with doctorates in political economy from Harvard who believe that this property is a vape shop up the street. This property titles a work that features the scientific literature's only references to the Kekulean knot in the post-Fourier transformation. This property titles a work whose first notes in errata entry clarifies the scientific name of crystal meth. This tight
Infinite
prompt.
Started acting like a teenage girl using codename Biggie.
Infinite Jest.
Infinite Jest is correct for
Nice.
10.
Correct.
17. A team named for these body parts won the second season of a Grand Prix style competition run by Dutch YouTuber Jelle Baker. The then unexplained O3 emission lines in an astronomical object named for these body parts led William Huygens to... sorry, that's incorrect.
Yes.
Okay.
Led William Huygens to postulate the element nebulium. A racing team consists of crazy marbles named for these body parts, one of which is a prized possession of the painter Elaine Risley. In
Horse head?
sorry, it's incorrect.
We talked about it the day.
Cat's eye.
For 20.
The toss-up was the cat's meow.
That's actually stuff.
Toss up. This sea is indented by a 3-meter wide curve of territory called a certain country's curl. A leader based in the sea intervened to allow Spanish control over the island of Yap during a dispute with Germany over the Caroline Islands. A mostly lost boat mosaic found in the sea is called...
You gotta call time out.
The Coral Sea?
Sorry, it's,
The Pacific Ocean.
that's incorrect. Found in the sea is called the Navicella. A leader based in the sea refused to accept the unilateral...
The Holy See.
Holy See is correct.
Hey, can I get a timeout? Timeout!
We have a timeout.
Who got the last toss-up? The one before this one. The one on Cat's Eye? Yeah.
Cheer.
Thank you.
Good eyes.
Can we get a score check while we're at it?
The clock has stopped.
Score of 140 for the Canada County Academic Team and 120 for 3+1 Musketeers. Gannon Evans, can you provide some insight for your team?
You stay in this room
30
like
seconds. You have 30 seconds. This is a strict
30
one.
seconds? It's so long.
There's a lot of math going into these last questions. You could buzz at any point. but make sure it's the right point and that you're buzzing correctly. This is true. So I believe you got this. You got the lead. Just keep it going. Just keep it going and keep it smooth. You got this.
Very inspiring.
I try.
Thank you.
Should watch the speech
All right.
from Hoosiers right now.
Toss up 19. This amount of money partly titles a film in which Orchid and Violet are two of three sisters who moved to Berkeley from the Caribbean, subtitled A Lost Mermaid Tale. An offer in which beer was sold for this amount contributed to spectators rioting on the field during a 1974 game at Cleveland's Municipal. Yeah, that's what I said.
10 cents?
10 cents is correct for 20.
Now those are the
Yeah.
physically tough players who play smart and love to compete.
And that brings us to toss-up 20. As a prospect, this guy was part of a group of pitching prospects nicknamed DVD alongside John Danks and Thomas Diamond. By far, this guy's best season was his rookie year of the Reds when he made the 2008 All-Star game and had 4.8 WAR, well over half his career total. This guy added an N to his unusual first name in 2007. This guy pitched against the Netherlands in the semifinals of the 2013 World Baseball Classic for his native Dominican Republic. Because you are children, you will not remember anything about this guy's career, but you may remember a toss-up which Josh Yu called the crazy.
Wait, what's his last name? The guy from like Velasquez?
Sorry, that's incorrect.
You're thinking Diego Velasquez.
Which Josh Yu called the craziest sports answer line ever heard in an all-subject quiz bowl packet. For 10 points, a toss-up in the finals of the 2024 IPNCT was on what Dominican pitcher nicknamed Voltron.
Oh my gosh. Really turned their back on
Garcia.
Sorry.
Alcantara.
I've made
Sorry.
so many jokes.
Hernandez.
This is
Kids need to study this.
this is Edinson Volquez.
Hey, people in the audience, raise your hand if you remember
Again!
that guy.
When will they learn?
Every year we say these kids got to study for the second Edison Volquez toss-up, and they don't study for
You
it.
never stop joking about it, and then you ask them about it, and they just don't know.
I hate this.
Disappointing.
All right, so that toss-up goes
Yeah,
dead. We'll go to
Edinson
toss-up
Volquez is
21.
not a meme.
Characters in this show sing a rhythm containing the musical phrase 2 16th notes, 3 8th notes, 2 rising 8th notes, then a long note. Stephen Colbert parodied this show in a segment in which the claim Trump is using Hitler's.
Is it Skibbity Toilet?
It is for power.
I wasn't listening to that toss-up.
And we're gonna have Aiden read this one.
Note to players, description acceptable. A passage mentioning a giggling troll that follows Clancy, Larry, Billy, and Peggy is part of a notable cryptic crossword clue about this place. This place is in space, according to the title of Super Furry Animals' debut EP. This is the last place mentioned in a Stephen Sondheim penned song that parodies the girl from Ipanema. Different late-night talk shows joked about this place's name while having former residents Naomi Watts and Taryn Edgerton as guests. RAF
Toilet.
No, Wales?
That's
Prompt.
Yeah, that's Bengali for.
That's a good prompt.
Cardiff?
No.
Yeah,
RAF
Wish.
Mona is noted to be just up the road from this place by Liam Dutton, a weatherman whose pronunciation of its name has...
Sanver, shit. Sanver, 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 Puskin, go, where, and double Santa Silly, go.
Oh, that's pretty good.
I like it. For 10.
Oh.
What is that?
Again, if I said that on camera, I'd get in trouble.
I'm not invited.
Jackson got nothing on this kid.
Or to one village in Wales with a very long name is acceptable.
Oh yeah, it says description acceptable. Oh my gosh.
I'm not in charge.
All right. The next three answer lines will be in before and after style. So if you are unfamiliar with what before and after is, the toss-ups will be blending both the before and after parts in equal measure. Pronouns should always be taken with a grain of salt. So, for example, a clue for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles all the way down may be as follows. The title of this work is in reference to the problem of infinite regression and the protagonist's origins due to contact with mystery ooze, which references both Turtles all the way down and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in a single line.
I don't know what.
I only know what one of those things
Oh.
are.
Yeah. That's not either of the answers, or any of them. All right, both teams got it? Okay. 23. In an Albert Lynch illustration, this person raises a white flag, a pose similar to the one this person took after reading a section of the New Colossus in 2024. This person donned a pointy white dunce-like cap in a film in which he was portrayed by Maria Falconetti. While in a Y Project outfit, this person stood on a 600-year-old rug and told a paparazzi, "Not me," while holding a massive sword. This person wore a red, horn-shaped hennin headpiece and a pig's nose after receiving a vision
Chaperone of Arc.
That's correct.
Yeah, that was almost as bad as that H-bomb one on like
24.
Yeah, that's like,
This woman can be found in a white room with flowered wallpaper in a building with reflective paintings and a copper statue by Jean-Pierre Gisels in its large central atrium. This woman with a thick Italian accent is a namesake of an event which contained an early five-way tie and a question describing how she is summoned by placing hats and clothes on a rack. This woman is the only...
Madame Pache NSC.
That's correct for 10. For 10 points, deliberately mispronounce the name of a madam in 6 characters in search of a buzzer to name the event currently taking place. All right, and 25. A 2014 video by this company has employees read mean tweets about them, including an image of one of its key people trying to fit a lollipop in his mouth in line at Disney World. Sunwing merged with this company in a crossover on Unpaid Intern, where a kid known mysteriously as the boss was locked in a fridge. Gucci Gang references Little Pump's ban from this airline years before prominently featured Nicki Minaj's Starships in Ukavik. New routes to Tokyo and Seoul from this show's hub at YYC may be related to its hide-and-seek and snake activities there. This competitor of Air Canada features a recurring Snack Zone segment. For 10 points, name this low-cost Calgary-based airline that plays travel games starring Ben, Adam, and Sam from Wendover Productions.
Oh, I don't know, like, Jep Lag.
Sorry.
The same person.
Yeah.
All right, so the toss-up goes dead. This is WestJet Lag.
I knew it was jet lag.
What are the grounds what's your reasoning? Denied.
We have to discuss this protest.
All right.
Hold on. Let's
So
take
this
half
is
an
another
hour.
new one, so listen carefully.
Yeah, we gotta
Toss up
you
number
can't proceed,
26.
we're not done.
Yeah. Got another 25 minutes to go.
Yo, could you like put the microphone next to your mouth, please? I can't hear a word you're saying.
Yeah, the next frontier for the All-Star game, I think, is just description, like notes to the moderator and the players that are just totally wrong, as opposed to like unintentionally wrong.
These are really hard to parse if you don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Have you considered like looking at
Toss up for no one.
the toss-up?
Hey, that's not fair. That
Go on.
Thought I had it.
Come on, Blue. That was way outside. I spit on you. I didn't spit on you.
The correct answer to this question.
I think that's the next.
You should just write between Earl Weaver rings.
Yeah. Toss one.
Yeah, sweet should learn about learning.
Toss one Ron Luciano that no one's gonna get except for me.
Another one? Might be NC have one of those.
Are you thinking of Edison Wilkes?
I'm usually thinking of Edson
You were sent here for one reason.
Reading your lips?
There you
Ah.
Someone.
Do you think any of these players know who Earl Weaver is?
Well, before you said anything out loud.
No, but they definitely can't read lips.
Before you said anything out loud.
My lips, no new toss-ups.
It's the manager's corner with Earl Weaver, the winningest manager.
This is exciting.
All right, and we're gonna finish off the day with with 2 action toss-ups. All right, 27. In Series 16 of Taskmaster, competitors had to pie Wayne in the face while Wayne performed this action, then imitate this action if they failed. In addition to a balloon and a fake horse, Jean Jacket consumes entities performing this action in Nope, since it can't distinguish them from humans. The first entity to perform this action was known as the Tall Boy and developed by the Trinidadian artist Peter Minshall for the 1996 Olympics. Minshall was assisted by Doran Gazet, who figured how to use forced air to animate certain wacky figures often found outside car sales.
Is it like...
You have to do and perform it.
That's not good enough. No.
Prompt.
No.
No, they don't
Prompt. Prompt.
They don't always.
Arms. Like yes.
Necesito ganas.
No, that's not enough.
No.
Sorry. Yeah, that's good.
That's
good.
good.
I'm not willing to do it.
really wacky enough, but you can only be so wacky after a long day.
Dance like a tube man. All right. Can we get a score check before the last question?
Yes.
At the third half, I have a score of 150 to 200 in favor of 3+1 Musketeers.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Well, we don't know how many points.
Okay. Note to players. This is a group toss-up. Once one person starts the action, everyone should join in.
Hopefully it's not what kids mean by this.
According to Suetonius, Nero hired people to perform the Alexandrian style of this activity, which can be divided into bees, roof tiles, and bricks. A tiebreaker round bonus reveals that Talas is a form of this action, while round 11's bonus 8 mentioned Ippon Jime and Hakushu as forms of this action. Round 11's toss-up 12 mentioned one of two performers of this action delays this action an extra 8th rest on each repetition. A piece of music in which two people perform. For 10 points, please give yourself and all the Pace NSC players a well-deserved round of this action.
And we were just talking about that one.
Good game to both teams, and congratulations to all our All-Stars.
Thanks for listening to all my suggestions that I made live.
Oh, we're live. Thanks everyone for watching the live stream of the All-Star Game.
And we're very sorry.
The
You
live
heard
stream-
me.
the all
If
stream
you'd like
of
to
the
join the
live
Rift
star
Zone, hang around Pace for a long time, and you'll be asked to do this too.
And don't forget to give Pace money.
Remember, we're a 501c3, so that's tax deductible.
Kids, Pace needs your help.
Pace-nsc.org/donate.
Just
Give
get your
us
parents' credit
your
card.
money. Oh, you're saying president?
You'll have, 13 digits in the front?
They get 16.
16?
Unless they have really weird parents.
No, you should give Pace. You should give Mace at least enough that you can write off on your taxes at
Yeah.
a reasonable limit.
Yeah, that's a write-off.
Remember, you can sponsor a packet. You next year could be the sponsor of the emergency packet,
Hopefully the
which
resolution's
did
not very
become
good on that.
necessary despite not having a sponsor.
Or don't pay your taxes and just give the money to Pace that you would
That's
pay for
also
your taxes.
For legal reasons, this is a joke. Again, if you want to come, staff future NSCs, Pace, email
Staffing at
pace-nsc.org.
Yes.
I don't know how
in
many
like
more
9
years I'm
months
gonna
we'll
last at
respond
this,
to you.
guys. You need to replace me.
Yeah.
Soon.